Because I was like, I don't want to run downstairs again. I'm just
Yeah.
going to turn it on now and see if it works now.
Now, Jules, where are you at in these days? Are you still in Wisconsin? Because it doesn't sound like you're from there no more.
I found that there was a left turn that I took
Well,
in
just
Wisconsin where we have really, really bad southern accents. Really, really bad ones.
you telling me if some of my folks down here done up and moved up there and perpetuating this bad southern the stereotype of not wearing shoes and needing a flashlight to go to the bathroom at night? Is that what you're telling me?
Really? They do?
Before plumbing,
Before
get out. Yeah, when we were in
Hi, chat room.
hey
Hi.
chat room, when we were in Philadelphia last year, we actually had one of the local store people at the store we were working at ask us if we had HD TVs.
You're kidding me.
He's like,
No
"Do you
way.
guys have the flat panel TVs down there?" And I was like, "Yeah." And we also have indoor plumbing. I'm like, oh, and indoor lighting. Yes, we have that too. We're not. Come on, kid. What do you think?
Do you have HD TVs? Yes, we do.
I actually have I have more than one in the house. I'm actually really on top of this.
Y'all get the internet?
Are you guys still on dial-up down there? Oh yeah, my 28.8 blazing speed.
Blazing speed. You want to hear? You want to get drooling jealous right now?
Oh no.
Because I talked about this on Twitter a couple weeks ago, but we were going to cut our cable out completely, right?
Mm-hmm.
But our cable, or it's actually a TV service, which is an internet-based TV service. We were going to cut that completely, but it is tied to our internet service, which is the same provider.
Mm-hmm.
And we are lucky enough that we have fiber that comes in to our house, so we can get faster speeds already. And so our internet is just TV. Our TV is internet-based. Well, they will not let us get the largest amount of speed for our internet provider, which is 1 gig service, without having the TV package. So we wanted to really upgrade to the 1 gig package. So we managed to cut back to the very minimum TV and get it up to a 1 gig package. And it's actually going to cost us less when we get so we cut everything out. We had HBO, we're cutting that, we're getting HBO now. Actually, we already have it. And so, yeah, all that stuff. And it is so funny because it is costing us less to do that. And we're going to get 1 gigabyte service. Oh, my
That's
God.
awesome. That is awesome.
So, yeah, it is quite the awesome. And I am like, oh, it's going to be awesome for us to be able to just, we can stream in high definition if I wanted to,
Mm-hmm.
Not that I would have the ability to do that right now, but I could. I think I'd have to upgrade our XSplit.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if the video can get any better.
It looks better than it did last night.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get it to focus differently.
Okay.
It looks good on my side.
Mm-hmm.
Like it really does.
Yeah. I mean, it looks better than it did last night, so
that's good.
Yeah. So that's good.
That's not it.
There was a
Whee.
wow.
There we go.
Hi. We're all drunk.
Yeah, I know.
Again.
Somebody spiked the kungaloosh.
We're all drunk again. Oh my goodness. If you guys were here last night for the Patreon Cards Against Humanity stream, thank you very much for being here, first of all. And second of all, holy crap, we drank a lot. Like a lot. And it was awesome and we loved it. So this morning, before I went to bed, I was like, okay, at least 2 glasses of water, which I did. And then I woke up around, that looks good. That looks pretty good.
Looks kind of dark.
It is dark, but it's crisper.
Yeah.
And then
turn up the brightness a little bit.
The cats woke me up at around 8 o'clock. I had shut them out, but they were banging on the door. So I got up again, feed them more water. Oh, hello.
You can really tell the shirt's orange, can't you?
That's awesome.
All right.
Wow. Twitch.tv. And I felt good today. I didn't have any problems today. Just
Well,
tired.
good. Good. Let's see. So does that look better?
It's a little
On
light. It's like
a little
you could
too
go
bright?
darker here, like richer color.
Okay, let me put that and turn up the intensity a smidge. Is that any better?
Yeah.
All right.
It's still a little it's kind of oh, I don't know what the which one it is. It's like you could go richer
So I
in
can,
color.
yeah, well, I can.
You look a little washed out.
Okay, I'm gonna. Well, let me turn down the brightness a little bit because it just looks kind of. It looks dark on my side, but it may
Well,
not
you're
for the
shadowed
room.
right now too.
Yeah, I am. And well, I've got the my little side lighting on, but that
Yeah.
kind of just illuminates the stuff a little
Yeah.
bit better
Well, that's
behind me.
okay.
But okay, we'll run with it and see how it looks.
We are not going to be putting that up on YouTube, by the way, just so you know. So for just, that's posterity out there. If you're putting it out there forever, talking like that and having a potential employer possibly see that someday could be detrimental to us. So that's why we are not going to put it on the internet. But it's for you guys to consume as we're doing. So so you got to be there live for it, or you know what? You can come over and air next time and see it. Let me do a sound check real quick. You make sure you hear this.
Okay.
This podcast is a part of...
Yep.
Oh, all right. Levels are good. Levels are good. Yeah, 20, we changed our mind. We thought we were going to put it up, and we decided, and we talked during the day and just decided not to do it. So just part of the, making sure we keep our reputations okay. That's the plan. Trust everything I say when I'm drunk is not a good idea. All right. Oh, I've got to get... I know I've got that cowbell on here. I didn't pull it down, though.
Do you have any kind of like victory music or like a little fanfare or anything? I was so tied up today that I didn't think to.
Let's see.
Or like a ta-da or anything like that.
Yeah, see if I can
Because
find one.
I'm trying to remember the name of that the music that's kind of like the little it's got the clock sound in it. It's kind of gnome-ish sounding.
Is it WoW
think
music?
Yeah, it's
Is
one
WoW
of them
music?
that yeah, it's one of them that we have in the folder.
Oh, in our folder. Okay.
Yeah, in our folder. Yeah, I forgot what it's called.
Let me look. We're doing it live, yay? We're doing it
Yeah.
live.
Doing it live.
Podcast files, eh? Let's see. It's under sound effects, maybe. Let's see. There's an applause. Let's see what this sounds like. Hang on.
Okay.
I will put this here. See if I can load it into the soundboard. How does that sound? There's applause.
That's a good applause.
What else did you want?
There was some song. It was a song of I forgot what it was. Somewhere in like the bumpers or something that had.
Let's see. What's this? Oh, no, that's not what I want.
Let's see here.
That's
We'll
not what
try-
I want. Cow mooing sound, drum roll. I've got a drum roll. Record scratch. What's this? What's this? Weird. Okay, I don't know what that is. What's that?
Well, you can play stuff through YouTube, right?
Not unless
Not-
I
you're not
have
on
to
this
take
one?
down the video for you to be able to see me,
Okay.
which I can
Okay.
do. It's either one or the other.
Okay.
So
Trying to see.
If you can get me a file that's extracted, then I can place it on the soundboard and you can
Yeah.
hear it. This is why my system is so jacked. I don't understand why it does this, but I have to turn everything else off, but the soundboard plays fine. I don't get it. So I don't get it. Let me see what else. Was it in the bumper file, you think?
Maybe. I know I should have done this
Nobergen
earlier.
event intro? No.
Yeah, I
Is
think
that
that's
it?
it.
Hang on.
Can you play a little clip?
Yeah, hang on. I gotta load it. This? Well,
Yeah, that's it.
it's like a minute long.
Okay.
Let's see, so I can try and find the.
Oh well. Well, that's a little weird.
Yeah, it's like a minute long.
That's the only downside. Oh well, we'll just
We'll just
roll with it.
down.
You've got the some of this like applause or something
I've got
soundboard.
This. Yeah.
That'll work.
Okay.
Because I had an idea, but I didn't have enough time to put it together. So we'll just have to wing it.
Okay. Cool. Look at all these
live.
people in the chat room who just showed up as we were playing with sounds. Hi.
Yeah.
Yay! We're excited to have you guys here. Are you guys ready for a show tonight? Because we're ready to do a show for you.
Oh man.
Marconin's got to stretch his back.
Got to stretch. Yeah.
I was out in the sun for most of the day, so I've got that sun tired going on right now. You know, that kind of, I've been in the sun all day and I'm kind of bleh. You know, I did take a nap when we got home, kind of just, flopped out. But yeah, that was good. Oh gosh, you guys are still sending me slash moves. Good Lord. I'll get this last one in. Hang on. And then anything else has to go through the chat room because then I won't see it. All right, let me fix this. You slow people getting them in at the last minute. There we go. All right. Chat room, are you guys ready for a show? Are you guys ready for a show? We're ready for a show. Marconin, are you ready for a show?
Ready.
You ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. And this is ready. We've got sounds ready. Bum, bum, bum. All right. Looks like everybody's ready. Chat room's ready. And we're going to go in 3, 2, 1.
Today's show has been brought to you by Doghouse Systems, makers of the best gaming PCs on the planet. Doghouse has a great product with personalized experience that will blow you away like no one else in the computer industry. Get double the memory on your brand new gaming system by going to doghousesystems.com and enter the code TTT at checkout. Go get yourself the gaming PC you've been dreaming of today.
You're listening to Tauren Think Tank, the World of Warcraft podcast for you, the World of Warcraft player.
Welcome to episode 142 of Tauren Think Tank. It's Saturday, April 18th of 2015. My name is Jules, and I am a little bit sun-tired, but I'm here. I spent more time in the sun than any nerd should. And with me in bright orange, looking very, very bright and happy and cheery, like the sun, it's Marconin. Hi, Marconin.
Hey there, Jules.
Hi.
You got a little too much day in your sun, didn't you?
I did have too much day in my sun. It's probably going to be a trend tonight. I have a feeling I'm just going to be words switch.
They're gonna,
yeah, but that's okay because then it makes for compelling podcasting
and possible names of show titles as well.
Start writing them down, kids, because there might be a ton of them coming in this round.
Yeah, we may have a new progression socks here, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my gosh, that's still to this day I can't even say compression socks, and I still have to wear them too. But so they're always my progression socks because I level up every time I have to pull the damn things on. So.
Yep.
So welcome back for another week of lovely fun and games. How was your week? What's happening? What's new?
Well, it was a pretty eventful week, I would say, all around.
Oh,
I got to double dip in the raiding pool and got to raid with Cat on Fire and also with Savage Cherry Tomatoes, which is Ashanka's team.
Oh, wow.
The raids on Thursday nights, and so we got to go in there. And if you follow my Twitter, you'll see that I tanked the floor boss a good bit that raid night. I don't know what the deal was, but it was just pretty much my character was like, I'm just gonna take a nap, so I'm gonna stand in the fire. and then just take a dead nap until I'm rezzed.
Were they doing normals or heroics in Blackrock?
Normals. Yeah, just normals. And it just got to the point where I could not, like, during the I forgot the lady's name. She has the 2 dogs, and she like shoots the flame bender.
Oh, flame bender. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So her little floating melee weapons that kind of float around. I got boxed in like on 2 attempts, and they're all around me, and they just would not leave me alone. I tried to blink away, and I'd go right into another one, blazing speed around it, into 2 more on my way, and I was like, I have nowhere to move. And so I did the only logical thing, and that was and take a dirt nap for a few minutes and sit on the floor. Just kind of just sit there and wait for another res. But
I'm raiding the floor.
Yep, I tanked the floor. I'm clearly a good raider because of that, and but it still was fun, and I got a couple upgrades this week, so I think all I need from normals right now is a cloak and 1 trinket, and then I've got everything that I need.
Good.
So it was a lot of fun. We also got to take on, and what did we end up doing? Like 5 or 6 manning the Eventbrite boss on Wednesday.
Yes. That was so. Yeah, we had like 7 people in a Skype call that we were working together to make sure that everybody got tickets for BlizzCon, and which was great because it actually worked out perfectly with the way that people were able to get into the waiting room and all that kind of thing. Every single person who was in there managed to either get a ticket or get a ticket for somebody else who was in there. So yeah, we were 7 manning the Eventbrite boss for sure.
Yeah, it was if you haven't ever done it, like tried to get BlizzCon tickets, it is nerve-wracking because everybody is just hitting the F5 key for the last like 30 seconds up until it comes on, and then you're like, oh, go, did you get in? Did I get in? Did you get in? Okay, how many do you need? What do you need? This, all this, blah blah blah. And it was nerve-wracking, but because of that means that both Jules and I will be there at BlizzCon because we managed to get tickets.
Yes.
So it's going to be an awesome time. Awesome time.
I'm so excited. And this is the hardest part about getting ready and planning for BlizzCon is that you're getting tickets for it, and then you're waiting for how many months? 7 months before it's time to go. And so we're like, it's BlizzCon hype. Oh.
Yeah, no, and now we're just gonna be like, well, I got my hotel, I've got my ticket, okay.
And now
Guess I'll enjoy the summer, just when it's warm outside, and I could go swimming or go to like the theme parks, and I just want to go to BlizzCon.
Yeah, I know.
That's like the whole rest of the year. I'm just gonna be waiting for it.
I know, but yeah, we'll be there. So if you're planning on being there, we would love to be able to meet you. Apparently, there is a very large contingent of our raid team that's going to be there. So we're going to, so that's going to be a blast as well. This is just going to be, this is now, going to be year number 3 for both of us, right? This is year 3 too for you.
3rd year.
Yep. And so I think now is going to be even more exciting because I know, first year you're just trying to figure yourself out and like, where do you go and where's everything at? And then you get it in year 2 and it's still overwhelming and everything happens and it's just blah. And so I'm going to say I'm better prepared this year, and I'm not.
Yeah.
Because mainly I'm going to be frantically trying to plan another party. We are going to do our best to do another Signals Media party, all things considered. So, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done to do that.
Yeah. Well, we've got 7 months to get it together.
I know. 7 months is not enough, dude. You have no idea.
Oh, man. I can imagine.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So.
And there was one more bit of news. If you see me on Twitter, you already know it. Back in vanilla, when I first hit level 40, I walked my happy gnome butt over to the mount trainer, and I bought my very first mount, the red Mechanostrider, because I was fire back then. And I remember walking behind my roommate who was sitting on the couch playing WoW back then, back in BC, later on, and he was flying around on the albino Drake. And I was like, how do you get that? And he said, well, you got to get 50 mounts. And that was the first mount that's when the bug bit me. And for the past 8 years, I work pretty much every week finding mounts, farming them, getting like the nether drakes took a long time to get together because when I did that back in the day, and I camped Storm Peaks for over 2 weeks in search of the elusive time lost proto drake before I made it mine. All of these rare mounts throughout the years of achievements, unlocking secrets of Ulduar and Ice Crown and everywhere, just achievements left and right, rep grinds. And it all culminated in this week on Tuesday, just after midnight. Well, on Wednesday, technically.
Yeah.
I killed Rukmar, the rare boss, and out popped in my loot table the Solar Spirehawk, which was my 250th mount.
250 mounts?
250 mounts.
Yeah! Oh, yeah!
Adrian, I did it!
Way to go, Marconin. That's fantastic.
Yep. And so now I'm the proud owner of the Solar Spirehawk and the Hellfire Hawk because of that. And because I didn't want to cheat the achievement, like a week earlier, I bought the magic rooster egg to get the chicken mount, and I held it in my bags and left it there until I got, because I was like, it is going to be a rare drop. I'm not gonna just buy one, just say, oh, I got the achievement, there you go. And it was crazy because I killed him. He killed Rukmar, and then I was like, will the bonus rolls get me the mount? And so everybody's looting it, and I look around, and no, the bonus roll won't get you. I was like, okay, well, I won't waste a bonus roll. And I was like, yeah, give me some gold and maybe a purple or something. And then boom, it was right there. It was on the screen and off because I turned on auto loot, and I just kind of like I started shaking. I was like, what? And then I looked at my bag. I was like, yeah, and just that's awesome. It was wonderful. So yeah, that's the big news of the week for me is getting mount 250, which really I've got more than that, but they only count for whatever faction your character that you're on's on. So, but I'm now in the 250 club, and it's been a long road getting these.
Yes.
And I've had some good luck lately, but that also means with the addition of the Spirehawk is I have every single rare drop mount from Draenor now. So I don't have to worry about anything else like that anymore, at least till the next raid tier comes out.
Yeah, until the next patch comes out, probably. They'll probably add more. You just don't know.
Yeah, they've got at least 4 or 5 that they're adding in the patch.
Wow.
So.
Wow. Well, you get a little bit of a reprieve to go hunting rare
mounts. I do.
That's funny. That is amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So now I don't even know. Are there 300? Is there an achievement for 300 mounts?
Not yet.
Yeah.
They don't have one in the game yet. There were people that as soon as the 250 mount achievement came out, they already had it.
Yep.
Because they've, like they had both mounts from the old Zul'Gurub, they had old Zulaban bear mount, everything. And I was like, and all the PvP mounts, and I was like, I don't have that kind of time, money, or energy.
Yeah.
So I just kept chugging right along and stuck with it, and I'm finally here. And now that I have that, now I have to go farm more mounts because it's never done.
You did good, buddy. That's pretty amazing.
Thank you. And yeah, it was a big week. So other than the BlizzCon boss, how did we do in Cat on Fire this week?
Well, Cat on Fire had the same progression as we did the 2 weeks previous, which was we got 7 bosses down in Blackrock Foundry on normal, mainly because we got hit by patch 6.2 patch note boss.
Did right before the break.
That was so we're literally doing our polls and talking through stuff, and then everyone's like, patch notes went on the PTR, and then it was like, pfft. So I just said, as raid leader, you just have to go with the punches, and I am just like, okay, 15-minute break instead of a 10-minute break, so you guys can get this out of your system and go read all the notes and go squee over the stuff that's there, and then we're gonna go back and we'll raid. And it worked out fine. It was great, but we didn't get a chance to push any further. The main thing for me at this point is that everybody has a good time. That we're having fun and raiding. Sadly, I am hearing around the water cooler and through friends that those that are pushing the higher level progressions, those that are going into heroic and heading towards mythic, some teams are burning out and imploding, and it's And this is exactly around the time right now where it seems to be happening more and more. And so we're really focused on just trying to stay with the fun of it, you know, and if the fun means that we push hard on progression to get to we're doing further, awesome. If it means we're just, you know, we're going in and we're laughing and we're having fun and we're killing bosses, whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I find it really interesting around this time to watch people's changes in the game and how people are losing their interests, and you know, it's also becoming warmer weather in the places where it's been cold weather, so it's more of an incentive to get outside and not sit in front of your computer as much. So I know I've been feeling it. It's been gorgeous here this week, and so half the time I'm just like, do I really want to sit in front of my computer? I don't know. I mean, I went outside for a walk for a couple days last weekend, and I'm like, that's awesome. So
yeah, the big glowing bright thing in the sky didn't kill you.
It didn't. The big flaming ball in the sky. So, but yeah, it's been gorgeous. It's gonna get a little cooler this week, which is kind of sad. But like today, we were outside. It was almost 70 degrees. We were out for a party. It was great. So yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So, you know, and we talked about BlizzCon tickets. And so just a quick update on what's happening on my job front. My reduced hours begin this coming week. So I will be down to working 30 hours a week instead of 40, and I will be paid 30 hours a week instead of 40. The plus side of this is that they're kind of giving me a flexibility at the point, and they were like, yeah, you know, Mondays work well for us if you just want to take Mondays as your day off. And I was like, 3-day weekend? Really?
There you go.
Yeah, so that actually worked out great. So, I mean, now it seems like I'm going to have a little bit more consistent 3-day weekends, and that's a nice work-life balance for me, because then I can do things over the weekend and do that kind of thing. But like so the Minnesota meetup is coming up in a couple weeks, and so they're allowing me to take the Friday off instead so that we can drive up to Minneapolis that day, and it works out perfectly. So yeah, speaking of that too, Minnesota meetup, we're getting closer. I was able to secure us some prizes right now. We have some t-shirts from woot.com that are there.
Whoa.
At Pat Crane's house waiting. I don't even know what we got, but he said they're cool. So I was able to get us some free t-shirts to be able to give away at the meetup. And if you are thinking about coming, someone asked me on Twitter the other day, they said, do you have to be a member of the CTR Guild in order to go to the Minnesota meetup? And I said, absolutely not. The Minnesota meetup is for anybody who is a fan of Signals Media podcasts like CTR, Realm Maintenance, Triple T,
I remembered it better.
Yeah, I remembered it better. We've, you know, TV Copilot, all the ones that are out there. If you're a fan of the shows, that's what it's for. It's for the people who are fans of the show, of these shows, I should say. So you are more than welcome. Even if you don't play on CTR, if you don't play on AIE, you don't play on any guilds that we do, doesn't matter. Come hang out with us if you're in the area or if you want to drive to the area. It's going to be Saturday, May 2nd from 2 to 6 p.m. at the Herkimer Pub and Brewery in Minneapolis. So, yeah. And we're also going to be hanging out the Minneapolis Comic-Con beforehand. So we'll be there hanging out there too. Yes. So there's been, you know, I've been trying to work on that, make sure we've got the meetup and all that thing going on too. So very cool.
That will be very cool.
I know.
I look forward to seeing pictures and stuff from that.
I can't wait. So is there anything else that we need to talk about before we jump into our discussion topic?
Let me see. I don't think so. I think we pretty much got it. Pretty much got it all.
I know. I feel like I'm bouncing everywhere tonight, but that's okay. So let's just go ahead and bounce.
It's all the energy from the sun you got today.
I know. I'm just like, I'm solar energy powered tonight. So let's just go do some discussion then. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's kick around some ideas, not gnomes.
And it's time for our discussion topic to start out the show. Most of the time they come from you guys, unless we decide we're inspired by something. But this week, we were inspired by you, one of you, who sent us a letter. And here is the letter. Dear Triple T, I've been trying to write you guys now for some time, but like everyone else, I procrastinate. But one of the recent podcasts talked about passions, and it really hit me to actually write this. Anyway, for lack of a better expression, ever since a spiritual journey I took, I came to a conclusion. I don't know what I'm passionate about. to cope with it, I just turned to PvP in WoW, which I never did before that journey, and it made me feel extreme highs and lows. I feel passion towards PvP, but I don't feel much past that. I would love to stream, however, I don't have the personality for it. I would love to podcast something with PvP, but I have a lack of knowledge. I don't do the greatest. I play around a steady 1500 plus rating in anything, but I mainly play just to feel those extreme highs. I don't know if it's good, but a quote I've always loved is, if it's not enough to succeed, someone must fail. And I think that's why I love PvP so much. The feeling of knowing that I beat this random person I've never met before with a friend or alone. Whip out Shadowmourne and take selfies makes that feeling skyrocket. I know this is kind of all over the place, and I totally understand if it's not gotten to, but I guess my question would be, where do I look for a passion? I know it's something I have to find on my own and all that, but again, with the journey, I just don't know what to do to start this. I've always been a person that needs lists on how to start something and how to finish. Any ideas on how to start making my brain not know? Any advice would be awesome. From Tex. So this is kind of a jump off point from a discussion that we had a couple weeks ago, talking about finding your passion and being passionate at what you do. But I thought that this was going to be I think this is a really good discussion topic of talking about ways that you can find your passion, and I think that this is going to spark a lot of discussion from the community as well, which we completely welcome. You know, we want to just kind of drive that. But I don't know if you felt this way when I read this letter, but it kind of did feel like it was all over the place. Like the passion
a little bit
and the like to do was not connected to me. Did that feel like that to you too?
A little bit, yeah. It was more of a, because the PvP seems to be something that he's doing for the enjoyment of it, but it's not like, he kind of would like to do more, but it doesn't seem to me like he's got that pull to make it as much as he wants to. When you find something that would be kind of like a passion, it sucks you in and pulls you in, and a lot of times I will find something that I want to do, and I'll just lock in and learn as much as I can about it, and just try and just soak myself in trying to do better, trying to do whatever I need to do to make this thing awesome, even more awesome than it was to begin with. And it does feel kind of disconnected. I don't know if it's is he asking a passion at all, or is it seemed kind of like he was talking in regards to WoW, what his passion is. And I don't know if he's meaning it in a broader sense, he or she meaning it in a broader sense of finding your passion in life with something, or just whatever. We've got so much stuff in WoW. What's that one thing that you really like to do? Yeah. Whether it be auction houses or fishing or mount collecting or whatever.
Yeah. So I think when I agree with you, and I feel like in the email I kind of felt like what you were saying, Tex, is that you've got this you like the endorphin rush of being able to compete and win in that, and I don't know if that's necessarily highly connected to what you love. It's more about, I love the high and low. I love the extreme highs and lows. It pushes me to want to win. It pushes me to want to beat somebody and defeat them, but I'm not really that good at it. My side of it would say, if you're passionate about it, you're going to be doing everything in your power to figure out how you could be the best at it. If you were if that's what your passion was, is like, I can't stop thinking about this. I want to be the best. I'm motivated to do that. That's my passion, is PvP. I want to know everything. If you say I have a lack of knowledge, I'd be digging into everything I could find. Yeah. Everything I could read. Talking to anybody who would listen to me about PvP. So that's the thing I think is the disconnect to me, is that you found something you like to do and it's fun, but I don't know if this is it doesn't sound to me like this is not the passion you're looking for. It's like
it kind of does. It kind of feels like he's, because man, when I the rare occasion that I PvP, it is definitely a rush, and I know those feelings too, and it just seems like you're enjoying PvP for what it is. I mean, that's the point of PvP, is to kick somebody's butt and, feel awesome for killing them, or, when you die, like, oh, I'm going to be better next time,
Yeah.
or work this, but it doesn't seem like, when I think passion, I think something that you embody in a sense. You take hold of it and make it your own. You make it part of you, whether it be as far as like a broader sense, music, any other kinds of hobbies, like
Writing,
crocheting, writing, designing furniture, or whatever hobby or thing that you want to make your own. You incorporate it into yourself. And it doesn't seem like that's what you really want to do with PvP, in a sense, or at least you're not there yet. I think that's why you're right. It does sound kind of disconnected.
Yeah. So here's what I would start with. This is number one, and I'm really curious to hear the answer to this question. Is if you can think all the way back to when you were a young child, and you can think about the things that you did as a young child that you still have interest in today, or that you would still feel that kind of fluttery feeling in your chest of excitement that makes your heart race, that you're excited about it, that's the stuff that you want to start looking at. And so let me use myself as an example. When I was a little kid, I had a tape recorder. I had a tape recorder that I had, the cassette tape recorders, and I used to do interviews with my sister. And we would interview. I mean, one of the most funny tapes I have is me doing an interview with her and Teddy Ruxpin. Remember Teddy Ruxpin?
I do.
Teddy Ruxpin was one of those animatronic teddy bears, and it would have a little cassette tape, and you would, start the tape and that kind of thing, and it would talk along with the thing. And so I would do like a back and forth with my sister and Teddy Ruxpin, and just, jump off of what he was saying, and it would turn into this interview. Now I'm like 8 years old doing this, and I loved it. It was like the most fun thing I ever did. And I had tapes and tapes and tapes and tapes and tapes of this. And so I knew that someday, I always wanted to be on the radio. I always wanted to do. And then when I started learning about podcasting, it was literally like, oh my God, I totally want to do that. I can't do that. How am I going to do that?
Yeah. However, will you ever figure out how to do that?
Right.
I don't know if you can do that, Jules.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Someday I might figure it out.
Maybe. Don't get ahead of yourself. Maybe.
But going all the way back to childhood, it's there. It's there. I sang all the time as a kid, and one of my favorite things to do is to sing. And I sang in choirs from the beginning. I sang all the way up through college. I sang when I moved to Illinois. I sang when I moved to Wisconsin. The reason I stopped is because I could not deal with the cliques inside the choirs. And so that's what drove me out. But I still have those longing moments of being able to perform. And so these are the things that I go back to and say, as a kid, I did that. So Marconin, as a kid, do your passions tie to where you are today?
Well, I think, the only one where it doesn't is I loved to draw when I was little.
Okay.
And it got to the point, and and I was taking, I was expressing my interest in drawing. I love to draw and sketch, but I also, got into music. And then in junior high, they make you pick. You only get one fine art. Do you want choir? Do you want band? Or do you want visual art? And, my parents had already spent a lot of money buying the trombone for me. So I was like, well, I guess I'll stick with the music, because my dad played drums, my granddad played guitar. I come from a pretty musical family, and I was like, oh, I want to keep with this. And that's when like my drawing pretty much stopped. I stopped doing it. But one thing that it reminded me when you were talking about yours when you were little, I too had tape recorders. I had the Talk Boy or whatever that was from Home Alone 2.
Yes.
Had one of those. And I was in a gifted talented classes back then, and we had to do something, just one of those kind of creative projects. And what I did is that I did an interview of Ren and Stimpy talking to me, and I did all 3 voices.
That's awesome. And so you were doing voices back then.
I was doing voices back then. I used to, my mom actually has video of me playing with all my old Power Ranger toys, and everybody had a different voice. Everybody had a different accent. When my stepbrothers would play some Final Fantasy game, that didn't have audio back then, I would do all the voices and do different dialects, just ones that I'd picked up. That's everything that Robin Williams was in. I watched and loved as kind of a try to just develop something like that. Mm-hmm. So it's still as you can tell, it's still around. Me doing it and me enjoying that kind of voices and accents and just kind of just enjoying being creative in that sense. So it's
and so
I do have a similar experience.
Yeah, and it turned into what you're doing today.
Mm-hmm.
It is. I mean, it's it is something that you're passionate about, that you love doing, and so that's where you got to go back to sometimes. And this is exactly what I would recommend to Tex: is go back and be very, very objective about it. If mm-hmm. you were like Marconin and you're like, I loved to draw as a kid and nobody encouraged me to do it, and so I just kind of stopped because other things got in the way. I mean, how many people out there can say, I used to love doing this, and nobody either encouraged it or they just said, it's kind of silly, don't do that, and you just kind of let it go. Mm-hmm. And if you really think about it, you may actually find that there's a core of something there that makes you want to do that here. Now, obviously, if you're going to sit there and play with markers all day as an adult, that's probably not going to be, where people are going to be like, oh, you're going to draw, But
well, I've seen there's a lot of videos of people that use alternative types of media to make beautiful pieces of artwork. There's a guy when I went to New Orleans, there's a street vendor guy. He's one of the guys that has like a canvas or like a piece of paper. He's like on the pavement in a parking lot, and he does these really beautiful like space portraits of, and all he uses is cans of spray paint, and will spray paint it, and then he's got just a couple of small simple handmade tools that he used to kind of move the shapes around, and then he'll get a torch and torch it a little bit to make it to like bubble up and change the color, mm-hmm. to create shadows, lights, and darks. And it's even if you're playing with markers, there's a way you can turn that into something. There's something unique that you can make in that, and even keep that going. Because and one thing I would advise is, if you can't think of anything, ask the people that raised you. Mm-hmm. Ask your family, ask and anybody that can possibly remember, because they may have a better memory than you in some places. Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, you used to do this all the time. And if they can give you a clue as to something along those lines, then that can help you out too.
Yeah. So it's a starting point. It's something,
mm-hmm.
If you are someone who is out there saying, I don't know what my passion is and I really want to find it, that's a place you can start. Another opportunity for you is just to listen. Listen to people. And, I find that it's very interesting, but I find that the closest people who are around me, which is friends, family, coworkers, that kind of thing, if you really listen sometimes to the things that they say to you, or that they may compliment you on, or you're really good at this, and you go, and you just sometimes take that stuff for granted. I was always told as a kid that I was a great listener, and mm-hmm. that I was easy to talk to, and that it was all those things. And over time, as I got older, I was just kind of in this shell. It was like this shell of things where I didn't connect with people as much as I should have, or I wanted to, for whatever reasons, and life gets in the way, or life influences how you do things. Mm-hmm. And when it became, and this passion, what we're doing right now, evolved really, really organically. It was literally like, let's do a show where people write us letters about the stuff that they're dealing with in World of Warcraft, and we'll just see where it goes, right? And as the show progressed, it didn't take very long for the strength to start coming out, which is, this show isn't just about what's happening in World of Warcraft. It's what's happening with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you want to talk about, but maybe nobody else is out there talking about it in a way that is supportive and open and honest and friendly and fun. And it evolved organically into what we are today. And it still evolves. Like, every
Yeah,
few months
every
we
episode.
seem to just kind of shift in different directions, and we let it go where it goes, and we tweak what doesn't work, and we goose up what does. And it's just, but we let it flow. We let it go with what we do. And you've got to listen. You've got to listen to what people say to you, where people were like, you guys are amazing, and oh my gosh, you're so fun, and I feel like I'm sitting around a campfire talking to my best friends, and it was like, well, you might be onto something here. It was just this kind of thing. And it has evolved into something that has turned into what you listen to right now. Mm-hmm. So I will say, I didn't set out saying I want to be a podcaster who talks to people about the toughest stuff in their lives and creates this community of people who are some of the most intelligent and supportive people that we've ever met. I didn't set out to do that. It just happened. But because we were willing to put in the time and the effort and nurture it and keep it going and respond to the people who wrote to us and go to the meetups and meet people and all those kinds of things. And it was like, it just kept going.
Yeah.
Ride the train as it goes. And so don't put so much pressure on yourself to find that exact thing that is your passion. It's not going to happen like, ding, it's going to, things are going to evolve. It's going to move around and da-da-da-da. And so that's what happens when things are really going to happen naturally. It's a really cool thing. You just have to look at what's happening and listen to what's happening and really pay attention and not go, just a little thing and then in the garbage and moving on to whatever I was going to do. So
yeah. Cause I mean, and it's like she was saying, don't put so much pressure on it, because you're not going to find, it's not like you find something very specific, it's not very small thing that you like, this is my passion, is doing this thing right here. And that's all it is. It can be very, very broad. The people were saying when I was growing up that I could talk to anybody. I can talk to a brick wall. My mom said once that, I was talking to an elderly couple and could turn around and talk to a child, and we'd have intelligent, civil discussions and conversations that weren't just like throwaway comments or anything like. And I've been told I'm a good listener and that I'm easier to talk to as well, and that that kind of helps me when I'm around retail customers, because I listen to them. I'm not the best salesman, but at least I can understand like their issue, and that's customers come to me with a problem, and I listen kind of like we listen on the show, so it feeds back into other parts of your life. That's the thing about your passion, is it's when you make it part of yourself, it seeps into all the other cracks and crevices in your day, and it can come through and help out in situations where otherwise you wouldn't be able to use it. So it's just kind of there's a lot of self-reflection, and I know you like lists, and sometimes I procrastinate, and sometimes I need a list of stuff to do, but it's going to take a lot of introspection and soul searching and do some research. Like I said, talk to your family or to your loved ones that raised you, and see kind of what they think,
Midnight made an excellent point in the chat room, and I just want to read it. She said, I think we owe it to each other to speak up and say, hey, did you know you're really good at X, Y, or Z? Because sometimes we have no idea. And I think that is a fantastic statement. And I don't think it's weird or wrong to ask people who you trust and feel comfortable to say, what do you think I'm good at? What do you think that I am good at that other people maybe not, or that I stand out in? Ask them. And you might be surprised at the answers. And if you're a list person, write that stuff down. Just write it down. Because it might be that you just put it aside and not go back to it till later, but you wind up putting it onto a list. And if you have a moment where something clicks, like you've heard something else, this thing that I'm working on right now, which is the working towards the idea or possibility of becoming a life coach as a profession, scares the living crap out of me. But it was suggested to me by two different people who knew nothing about each other. They were absolutely not familiar with each other. They just knew me. And the first person, I was like, I don't know. But the mental note stuck in my head for whatever reason. And when the second person came around, I was like, well, that's not the first time I've heard that. And it was a mental checklist. I had it in my head. And I've had people since then saying, oh my God, yes, like it's like the right thing. But if you care about somebody and you, and it's like, what a better compliment you can give someone to tell them, you know, you're really good at this. Like Marconin is really good at just being a very calming force. You know, I get sometimes, I had a really tough week this week. I had some things that happened this week and it was just very frustrating. It was out of my control and I couldn't fix it. And I just kind of vented a little bit via text. And he just listened to what I had to say and said, you know, it's going to be fine. You know, you're going to be fine. You got this. And it just brought me back down from where I was just kind of, you know, freaking out moment. He's very good at that. And so, and he knows it because I tell him this, but it doesn't hurt to tell him on the show in front of all of you guys so that he hears it.
You're going to make me blush.
I know you already are. So
yeah, you can tell. You can tell. Yeah. And you know, it's funny, like you were saying, don't throw away like a little compliment or a little thing someone says, because I honestly had not thought about any kind of recording voice work or anything until somebody said, "Man, you've got a good voice. It sounds like you should be on the radio or something." And I you know, it was the first time, because you know, you hear your voice all through your life, but it was the first time I started actually listening to myself, and you know, because I like doing the voices. You know, it's enjoyable to do funny things with your voice all day, every day. But then you didn't, you know, I heard myself, but I didn't listen to myself. And you start listening in a critiquing way and just think about like, oh, yeah, this actually, you know what? They may be onto something.
You just said something very, very poignant right there. Say that again.
Oh, see, I had always heard my voice, but I never listened to it.
You ever hear that voice in your head and you don't listen to it?
Mm-hmm.
Might be a marker right there. Might want to bookmark this podcast right here. That is a very, very insightful statement. And I think that it is one that a lot of us could use a reminder of sometimes. And myself included. Because I can hear the voice in my head rotating around and whatever it is. But you sometimes don't really listen to what someone says to you on something in positive form, to tell you that you're good at something, or that you're worthy, or that you're, you know, you have skills and talents, and how you could turn that into something that would really make you happy. Because sometimes we spend so much time being sad and frustrated and angry and down about life that you just don't go after the stuff that makes you happy because it's too hard, or we don't have enough time, or it's a feeling of frustration because if I only could blank. Well, just what's stopping you? What is stopping you? So the chat room is like scrolling by as I'm talking. I would catch up with it. But
and Lori CTR said, "Yeah, as long as they didn't say Marconin, you've really got a face for radio. That it's a compliment." It's like no, he didn't quite say that. I mean, you're looking at me right now, and I like to think that I don't have a face for radio. I think, you know, I would be okay. I had instructors saying that, you know, yeah, you could do radio or TV. You know, they were saying that I could do either or, and right now I'm doing both.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
So it's it
was a scary as hell prospect for me to turn a webcam on and live broadcast this show, because I have a terrible self-image, and you know, that feeling of I don't look good enough, or I'm not, you know, and I just had to say F it in my brain. I had to tell my brain to F off. Yeah. And because if I really wanted to do this, because I really wanted to do this, then I needed to get over that. And so
had to let it overtake your fears and apprehensions.
Yeah, because I could have let my fears of being on a webcam and putting my face out on the internet and dealing with the criticism that I know I was going to receive because you know, and I'm so lucky that I have never done that. That's never happened. You know, people people have never come on there and say, you know, the things that you think that they're going to show, you know, shut up, you fat pig, is what I'm expecting people to say. And so, but I just had to say, get over it. Get over it. Do what you love. This is what you love. And you're not going to let the stupid voices in your head stop you from doing that. And so I just said, done. I'm not gonna dwell on it. Do I get anxious about it? Absolutely. But it just is, it's not going to stop me from doing what makes me happy. And so if you're in that mode where it's something that you're really passionate about, but you just don't know what you want to do, you have to just push. You have to just push it. So,
Yeah.
and go with it.
Yeah, and that goes back to when you say you would love to stream. However, I don't have the personality for it. Well, what you don't know unless you try. Really, I mean, you can always if when you're streaming, some people can come in and talk to you or not. I mean, at the beginning, you're not going to have any viewers. So what does it matter? Start working on it. I mean, I can't tell you how nervous I was when I did my first bit of audio for the instance. I recorded, those are 90-second spots. I spent almost an hour talking to get just the right inflection and the right thing, because I was nervous as heck, and it gets easier. You do improve. So, you may not have the personality for it starting out. I usually wasn't. I was very introverted and awkward when I was younger, but now it's a lot easier because you learn, and if you're saying you want to do a podcast with PvP, but you lack the knowledge, that's the easiest thing to do, is to get more knowledge.
Yeah. Start
Start listening to other PvP podcasts. Go read, what is it? Is it Elitist Jerks that does PvP or something? Any of those websites. Just, like I said, if this is your passion, this is what you want to do, you're going to dive in head first and learn as much as you can, and just really let it soak in, and then you're learning about it and everything.
Yeah.
So if that's what you want to do, then you gotta get over that hump of apprehension, when you're doing your first podcast bit, or you're first turning on the webcam and broadcasting live. Yeah. It's those little leaps that can really help you out in the end.
And I'll tell you, everybody starts somewhere. Everybody starts somewhere. You could start by, you go on and you do a PvP stream and it sucks. You could do that. It could happen. But if this is something you really want to do, why would you not want to just push yourself to go forward with it, except for the feeling that you think you're not good enough, or your personality isn't strong enough? If you believe that, it's never going to happen. It's never, ever going to happen. But maybe it's not your personality that is your strength. Maybe it's your knowledge, or maybe it's your spin on how you do PvP. Maybe because you have such a passion for winning that it's about that. You have to find your hook, what makes you special, and not do it like everybody else does, because that's the thing. You can, and if literally going on and doing a PvP match and just not talking to the camera and doing it and just streaming it, and you're just typing into the chat room with the people who are watching, that's something.
Yeah.
It's something.
That is. It's a starting point.
And you start there. And then you maybe take a step forward to say, hey guys, we had a good conversation in the chat room. So I think today I'm gonna go on audio and I'll talk to you guys as I'm going through to help you, because you had some questions about this. Again, organically, it will move itself around you. It will happen. As you start having people watch you, and you get past the people who go, WTF is this, in the chat room. But if it's your buddies, if it's your guild mates, if it's people who are on your server saying, hey, I'm streaming PvP, you want to come hang out with me, and you start having a discussion, because we have that ability as casters to be able to just chat via text. It's not necessary for you to happen to be on video. You have to have audio for your voice. So start where you're comfortable. Start where you're comfortable. It is.
Start small. Start where you're comfortable.
A baby step turns into a big step. That's what I heard today. So this morning, after our fun little stream last night we did for our patrons for Cards Against Humanity, we were up very late. We had some alcohol, and so I slept in a little bit. And I got a phone call from my massage therapist's office, and she had a cancellation, and she was like, hey, did you want to come in right now? Because I live right down the road. And so she's so excited to see me. like so happy to see me. And I told her, I said, I talked about you on my podcast. And she was like, she lit up like a Christmas tree. She was like, I can't believe it. I know I've been talked about at barbecues, and I know that I've been talked about at family things, but she was like, I've been talked about on a podcast. Like, she was so excited. And she said those words to me. She was talking about things that were going on in her life. And she said, you can't let fear stop you. And that's what's happening to this person she was talking about. She said, baby steps turn into big steps. And that is so true. It's so true. Just look at things from a perspective instead of wanting the whole picture right now. Start small. Start moving forward with one step, and then another, and then another, and then another, and then it will move forward. But let it go organically. Don't necessarily have this like, I have a list in my head of exactly what it looks like and exactly how it should be, because that's how this show has evolved into what it is. We have listened and moved with the flow and with what you guys are talking about. So Just Plain Creepy asked if I asked Kara about the stream. She wants to come to one of our meetups here in Wisconsin.
There you go.
And she said, absolutely, I will come. I will absolutely come. And so we're going to put together a meetup so she can come and hang out with it. She's a gamer. She's a total gamer. She loves Mass Effect and Dragon Age and Destiny, and she loves that stuff. So I was like, she's such a nerd. She would love us. And so by the end, she gave me a huge hug afterwards. She's like, I love you. And I said, I love you too. It's just, it was my massage therapist, but she changes lives for people. And, she, like I said, I talked about her story and from the last podcast, and she just loved it. She thought it was fantastic. So anything more that you wanted to talk about on finding your passion? We've been kind of all over the place, but I think this is a great
we really
discussion.
have. Yeah, well, it basically boils down to, whatever, do research, find out in your past from your childhood what you really enjoyed, and see if there's some avenue you can use that to really dig in and find a passion. And then also don't doubt yourself. If you think you know what it is, work on it until it's, if PvP isn't your passion, really, you won't know unless you dig deep and then you really, really dig into it. Yeah. And just keep trying and do a lot of self-reflection and see what comes up. Yeah.
And don't put extra pressure on yourself to find it right away.
Yeah.
You don't have to. It's just, be open-minded, be willing to listen, and be willing to watch the things that come around you, that people say about you, and make notes of it. Pay attention to it. Listen to it. Because that may guide you. And I think that goes with everything in life these days. I really just try to listen to the people around me. Because if there's messages that sometimes people say to you that you don't always pay attention to, and just something that, but sometimes there are things that are like, yeah, I really think that you'd be good at blah. Oh. And then when most of us are going to go, whatever, like we're just going to poo-poo it and move on. Don't do that. If you're looking for this, if this is something in your life that you're wishing was more fulfilled, then that is where you start. Start listening to yourself, listening to others, do some research, start reading. The internet, man. You use the internet because you listen to podcasts. So obviously you know how to do some research. Start reading. Just read and start doing the stuff. I would absolutely love it if we got letters from you guys about this topic. Your feedback, your thoughts, your suggestions, your stories.
Yeah.
I want to hear.
Did you find, did you have a similar situation where you had something you really enjoyed when you were little that you've now that you are older, you've grown to incorporate that into either your profession or you've made it your own? We'd love to hear those kind of stories.
Absolutely. So yeah, we would love to hear it. If you want to send them over to questions@taurenThinkTank.com, that would be fantastic. So that's our discussion topic of this evening. We wanted to talk a little bit, just a quick moment about our Patreon, because last night we had some fun.
We sure did. We had a lot of fun.
And, I forgot to put the music on, so I'm going to do that. Look, there's music to talk about a promo. with our show, we appreciate everyone who is able to support us because it makes a big difference for us. We were able to do the stream last night with Skype Premium, which allowed us to have many people on our Skype call with video.
Had a lot of people.
And we had a lot of people on that Skype call. And I just want to say, though, our show will always be free. Always. We don't want to charge. We just accept the fact that there are people that want to help and are extremely grateful that there are. Our Patreon has shown a great uptick. We are over halfway to our first goal, which is for our database of all of our questions and discussions, searchable by keyword, searchable by episode, and it's a really great resource that we'd love to build with your help. So we are getting there slowly, and it's so exciting, Marconin. This has been great.
It really is. We had a couple of people become patrons last night during the stream, which was it almost felt like an NPR like fundraiser drive. Like, get a call in, and we've got for the next 20 minutes we will match your donations. That's how it felt.
Yeah.
But it was just very surprising and very exciting that we had some more people that love what we do and they want to support us and help us improve the show for you guys.
Yeah,
and that's what it's about.
There's a couple things that I'd like to do for software, and hopefully with a couple more dollars in Patreon, we will be able to do that. So thank you guys so much for your support of the show. If you would like to support Tauren Think Tank, you can do so at patreon.com/Tauren Think Tank. And there we go. All right, this music needs to go away though. And Marconin, it's time to do another think tank question right now.
Yes, it is.
Right now.
Tauren between options? Let Triple T help you sort it out.
All right, it is time for the think tank, which is the time of the show where a specific advice question, usually about World of Warcraft, sometimes not. This time it's not, but that's okay. This is our advice giving for you guys. So if Marconin, if you wouldn't mind reading this one.
Absolutely. A while ago, you were talking about bullies affecting people. Some of them grow up to be at least okay people, but some people just don't. Case in point is my plant manager. He was hired into the company to get the factory ISO certified. He has been here for over a year and so far has not gotten the certification. He also put the company behind in orders by scheduling too much overtime and has single-handedly changed some of the rules that were ironclad in the rulebook. He has done wrong to the company. I am only speaking on what I know and not what I heard. Let's just say he's done this before to other companies. Now I have the pull or the power to demote him, but I don't want to make anyone angry. Well, except him. What should I do? From Kerosene Kid.
Okay, so we have a plant manager who is out of control. There's a couple of questions in my head here. So if you have the power to be able to demote him, if it's something that's in your hands, are you his supervisor? Because if you have that.
Well, he used the word pull, which means he's probably if he's not like a superior position to that person, to the plant manager, he's got like some kind of he's got an ear of someone that is above him,
right?
And that they could make it happen,
right? Okay, so that makes more sense to me because I was just like, okay, so why hasn't this been done yet?
Mm-hmm.
So the crux of this is that I want to do this, but I don't want to make other people angry. And so I don't know if it's a question of that it's going to be diabolical, like you're going to hurt people in order to do it, or you're going to cause relationship issues with other people. So there's a part in here that's missing, but we'll go with what we've got. 2020 Site in the chat room just nailed it, and she put this in the best way possible. The question is the demotion personal, or is the demotion meant to help the business? And that is something, I think, Kerosene Kid, you're looking at this from a perspective of somebody who really cares about the company you work for and its success. But there's a feeling of, I don't want to ruffle any feathers. I don't want to step out of bounds, and I don't want to cause any problems. But there's a feeling when you are someone who isn't management or someone who isn't in charge, who thinks, are they just like sitting up there in their ivory towers picking their butts up there? Like, do they not know that this is happening? Do they not see these problems? Do they not have an awareness of this? The problem is that a lot of times these things don't, there can be such a huge separation between upper management and like operations management that it can be so hard. If the business is not managed properly, it can be starkly different in terms of what they know and what they see.
Yeah. And it could also be that, well, I mean, like you were saying there, like Kerosene Kid was saying, is that he's failed to do what he was hired to do by getting the certification. He's also changing rules. And, as far as the rule changes, like Jules, you were saying, the upper management may not know. It may be, that he just changed the rules down on the floor level or whatever level you're on. And that, it's something that upper management isn't aware of. So if your company has any kind of, suggestion box, or if you can email somebody and say, or walk by their office and say, hey, I've got some concerns. Do you have a few minutes? And just if you approach it like that, that's always a good step, because if you've got the pull, if you know somebody that can get him demoted, don't go into it thinking that you want to get him demoted, because sometimes the wheels turn very slowly.
Yeah.
It could be that they're aware of it and they're working on something that you don't see. We had that come up at work, because we've had issues with employees and coworkers of mine where we're like, how is this okay? This is something that we get, run up and down and sideways and backwards about, yet this person gets away with it. Like, and we're not seeing any repercussions or any changes. It's just like, look, you're encouraging this behavior.
Yeah.
And yet you yell at me when it happens to me, and finally my boss was like, guys, there's a lot that you don't see and don't know about, and you're not supposed to.
Yes.
So that may be another thing. I mean, the first thing I would do is do the suggestion box, or the, knock on your boss's office door and be like, hey, I got some concerns. Do you have a minute? And start it that way. Come from an angle of, like, just don't even mention the person's name, really. Just say, hey, I noticed that we're still not ISO certified. Is that going to affect our productivity? Is it going to affect our bottom line? Like, I just had these concerns and I want to know.
Yeah.
I would like to know what the deal is with that. I mean, is this something that I need to do? Do I need to improve, or just try and seem like you're, like you've got the best intentions, which I'm hoping you are. I mean, you said something about bullies, so I'm thinking that you may have some kind of personal issue with him, with that, or with the plant manager, and it's if he's not doing the job, because there's people at work that I don't like.
Yeah.
That I don't get along with, people that give me the stink eye and yell at me for doing almost nothing. One manager almost punched me once because I was doing my job, and and I still have to work that with that person, and you work through it, or you don't, it's one of the perils of adult life and working in an office or working in a place where you're not your own boss,
Yes.
So you just, go, approach, your superior officer or your boss from that angle of, hey, I have concerns about the company, because you can't affect that person, the bullies. You can't affect him personally. That's not the way to be. You've got to come at it from the point of, hey, the plant's not doing what it's supposed to do. Is this going to affect, like, our head count? Are we going to lose jobs over this? And just come at it from that kind of angle of concern.
Yeah. So I think that taking that step towards your manager, your boss, is the right thing to do. If you are in a company that is a sizable company, I would also suggest talking to your HR department, your human resources department, because that's what they're there for. They are there to protect the company. And if there are issues, there's a you made a great point, Marconin. There's a big thing in omission here in the email where it's talking about bullies, but there's no bullying behavior necessarily mentioned here. So I'm not sure if you didn't talk about it, or if he is just a bad, the personality is a problem too, Because if that's the case, that is something that HR needs to be aware of. Are there confrontations? Are there moments where he is out there yelling at people in public and berating people, or telling them that they have to do, the rules are inconsistent between one employee and another who do the same job? Things that you've observed, they should know. So that's part of it too. I mean, you currently work for a very large corporation. I have worked for a very large corporation, and I will say that I never understood how complex and how difficult it is to deal with performance issues than when I became a supervisor. Because if you are doing your job correctly as a supervisor and you're dealing with someone who is a problem or is having performance issues or is on a performance plan or all those things that they're not meeting their expectations, if it's done correctly, it's a very lengthy, drawn out, annoying process. And it is completely transparent to anybody else except between the manager and the employee. So you may notice, Marconin may notice, that these people in his department are doing BS stuff or not doing their job, and you're thinking, these guys don't know anything. They don't pay attention. Nobody sees the crap that these guys get away with, and it pisses me off because I would never do it, and but they can get away with it. And I have seen it so many times where you just, as a manager, you have to document everything. You have to talk to the person and give them a written warning. You have to have a meeting with them and the HR and talk. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And like at my company, HR has the final say in hiring and firing.
Do they?
Yeah, they do. And if this person is I'm about to sneeze, so go ahead and talk.
Oh, okay. So one of my moments, I had this woman who worked for me in the corporation that I was in, and she would do really crappy things, and then we would write her up, and then she'd follow up to the point where she could, and she'd be meeting expectations just barely, but not enough to fire her. So then you'd kind of lay off a little bit, and then it would be back to where it was again. Then you had to evaluate the behavior again and write it up. We had this joke, and it was absolutely true. We had a final written warning.
Wow.
Final. And it was an actual term. Because it was like, we gave you a written warning, we gave you a final written warning, we gave you a final written warning, and we now gave you the final written warning. And this is it. Like, you're fired after this, right? And you didn't get fired after that. Because there was a loophole and there was a question mark. And oh my gosh. And it's all because companies do not want to get sued in unemployment court.
Yep. It's a CYA tactic.
Yes.
And they may be doing the most horrible job on your team. They may come in late, they may not care, but as long as they're following the standard operating procedure, then the boss really can't do anything.
Yeah.
The person who wants to do it, because even then HR will, it's a last resort to terminate somebody.
Yeah.
And that even takes time.
It does.
Like it took the last person that I've seen get let go. It took them 2 months to process it. Over 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah. So our point that we're both making here is that this plant manager may be going through exactly this. He may be actually being evaluated and written up and talked to and given final directives, but you may not know. And if they're doing their job right, you won't know until he's gone. So but it doesn't stop the need and desire to want to say, hey, is anybody aware of this? Because the chances of that happening are very valid. It is valid to say that maybe there are people who are not aware of this behavior or things that they hadn't, that, maybe he is in process of being written up or that kind of thing. But new information would help that process along. So you are caring about the company, you are caring about your employer, and you want them to succeed, and you feel that this man is not. So therefore, you should follow, and you need to follow the proper channels. If this is a situation where you're saying, if I drop a mention to my buddy who's in his department or his that's in this department, and don't do it that way.
Yeah, that's kind of a under the table, backhanded, sneaky, malicious, other words describing a bad situation kind of thing to do.
Do it officially, do it appropriately, and have evidence. Talk about detailed information. You know, when you say he single-handedly changed some rules, what were those rules?
Save emails.
Yes, like just give exact information on what it, you know, instead of saying, well, he's a jerk and he doesn't listen, and, you know, give examples of what has happened so that you can it's not just a blanket statement. You can actually back it up with evidence. So those are the kinds of things. So talk to your boss, talk to your HR department. All those things are valid. It's just depending on your organization. But don't go through back channels to do this. Don't be dropping hints or having a beer with somebody outside and saying, you know what? I hear that so-and-so is just not doing it in my department. You got to do something about this. It's not going to make amends. It's not going to help. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help your reputation. Do it in the right ways, and it's going to help you be more accepted as an employee, a good employee.
Yeah, and if you do it by the official channels and the other means, you won't make anybody angry because you're doing it the way that it was designed to do, and you're coming at it from an unbiased way. You know, you just want you seem to be loyal to your company enough that you're willing to get a guy fired over it. But if he's not performing well and it's affecting the company and somebody doesn't know, somebody needs to tell.
Exactly.
Because that's the only way that the company will do better and that you'll do better. You know, you never know what the effects of that could be.
Yeah. I feel like there's stuff that's not mentioned in this email that could be pertinent. So we apologize if we kind of missed the mark on some of it. But based off of our experiences of working in companies that are organized in a multi-layered way, this is probably the best way to go about it. So so if you have a question that you would like to throw at the think tank for discussion, you can do so at questions@taurenThinkTank.com. That's how you find us. That's how you get things to us. We've got some great letters pending in the mailbox ready to go for
we really
shows. I'm excited, and we can always use more. Always. So please, if you've got burning question and you're a procrastinator, here is your poke in the butt. Not literally, but how about poke in the back? Poke in the back.
Yeah, poke in the back. Yeah, there you go.
To go and write that letter and send it into questions@taurenThinkTank.com.
Yeah, we can't answer questions you never ask.
That's right. It's funny how that works, isn't it? All right, Marconin, let's have some fun.
Yes.
Tell us one thing time.
We read your submissions because reading your mind would just be creepy.
It is time for Tell Us One Thing, and it's brought to you by
the Iron Man Challenge. It's back, folks. The Iron Man Challenge is one of the most difficult challenges in World of Warcraft. You level your character wearing only white or gray quality armor. No using potions, elixirs, heirlooms, and most importantly, no dying. If you die even once, you're out. Start all over. They also have 2 additional challenges for the peaceful pacifists and the ravenously bloodthirsty among us. Over 1,000 Iron men and women have accepted this challenge since the Cataclysm, but less than a dozen have succeeded in this ultimate test of endurance and skill. Are you up for the challenge? The Iron Man Challenge is now hosted on the wowchallenges.com website. You can also follow them on Twitter @wowchallenges.
Thank you so much, Well Challenges, for sponsoring this segment of the show.
Yes.
And we're going to start with this first one. Who would win in a duel? I know Jules here heals, so I would then ask, who would you guys choose as your healer, Marconin, and who is your DPS, Jules, from Tex?
Well, I don't know if it's like who would win in a duel between the two of us, or...
Yeah, I think it's between us. So
okay,
we're
between us.
Dueling at each other.
You would win. I've been in arena matches where it's me versus a druid healer, and I can't do anything. Like,
You're just like I can't.
Yeah, it's like I just had like the timer went out, and I was like, I can't kill this dude. My cooldowns would rotate back up every 2 or 3 minutes, and I'd unleash hell on him, and he'd just get all the way down, and he'd turn a cat, run away, come back up, drink. and just healed up, just keep throwing his hands up, just healing, 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 healing. I was like, this is pointless.
I know.
I can't win on a druid. So yeah, you would totally get me on a duel.
So if we swapped and you were the healer and I was the DPS, we'd have to swap our normal. So my DPS sucks really bad on anything I play. So I would probably, I'd probably choose a hunter. I probably would. And at least I'd have a fighting chance because I'd have a pet.
Yeah, I would if I had to heal, I'd probably do paladin.
Yeah.
For the bubbles.
God, paladins are nasty
They are.
trying to take down.
I hate seeing them in Ashran. I'm like,
like
try and run away from them. It's like I can't. I don't have the time, energy, or mana to deal with you right now.
I don't even have like anything to deal with you right now. Okay.
Yeah. Here's my spell book. I have nothing. Nothing. It's like, oh, paladin. See page 12.
Okay.
Roll over and die. Okay, there you go. Or run away.
Run away.
Run away, little gnome.
Yes.
Run away.
This is why I don't PvP. Because when I do PvP, I either get so darn frustrated that I yell and scream and everything and just, or I get bloodthirsty and I want everything to die. So then it's just like, it brings out the worst characteristics in me. It's horrible. And
I would love to see that.
No, you don't. I swear so badly when I PvP. It's like I am the trucker mouth.
That's kind of why I want to see it, because it's so different from the norm.
I know. The trucker mouth. Maybe, okay, here we go. Here we go. Here's the challenge. Patreon. Patrons, you get us up to $500 and I will stream a PvP match that Marconin, I will stream multiple PvP matches that we do, and you will listen to me yell and scream and curse. How's that?
Sailor Jules.
Oh, it's bad. It's bad. So there's the gauntlet. You want to watch me PvP? There you go.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, it's too funny.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and read the next one.
Yeah, this one's from the creepy one. Who do you think / hope will be the musical performance for BlizzCon this year?
This one is hard. Draven Dresden asked this one too on Twitter.
Because we've had Ozzy, we've had Tenacious D, we've had Foo Fighters, we've had Metallica, we've had Blink-182. So all these big name bands that are usually rock centered.
Yeah, I mean, I could see something like Maroon 5 or something of that nature. That would be huge. Like Maroon 5 would be huge. Yeah,
and I like their music too. Their funk influences in their music. I'm a sucker for good funk.
Yeah,
just love it. Gets under my skin, and I like it.
I would say though, I would be. Sam just said it in the chat room. Imagine Dragons would be amazing. They would be really good. And who is out? I mean, obviously people are just like, Weird Al. That would be an amazing show too.
I would like that, but
yeah. Because even this year, like trying to get into the Metallica concert, people were like, it was a mob scene trying to get into the Metallica concert, and a lot of people didn't make it.
Yeah, I didn't even bother with it. I was like, I like Metallica, but I could hear them from the other side of the convention center. I was like, it was like, Master. It was just like sound. It wasn't really like music. It was just like at that point.
That was thrashing. It was horrible. Yeah. I mean, I like Metallica, but metal concert would not be. Look at all these suggestions in the chat room. It's like Fall Out Boy, Soundgarden.
Chief Vol'jin wants Katy Perry.
Katy Perry. I would watch Katy Perry. She puts on a good show.
She does.
I watched her documentary movie about her concerts, and she puts on a really good show. So I would be up for her. Let me think who else. I had somebody else and I couldn't think of who it was. Garbage is a good suggestion. That's a really good suggestion, actually. Nine Inch Nails would be good. I know Kane would go nuts over seeing Trent Reznor in person.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing Fall Out Boy. 2020 site said Fall Out Boy. Like they've got some good music.
Yeah. Ellie Goulding, I don't think she would appeal to the BlizzCon crowd. So
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
wouldn't
so.
mind it. I like her voice, but
Yeah.
yeah, my dream group would be either Earth, Wind, and Fire and or Chicago. But I know that's kind of a
It's a
like
little old school, but
it's a little old school, but sometimes you need a little bit of the old school, like especially if it was Earth, Wind, and Fire, because that's like I have a Blu-ray of Chicago and Earth, Wind, and Fire live at the Greek Theater,
oh jeez.
and man, I love Chicago, but Earth, Wind, and Fire they blew the top off of it. They
Oh,
they they out they out they out outperformed Chicago, and then at the end they both came together, and then they played together, and it was just like, oh my goodness, I love it. It's one of my favorite movies. So
oh, the chat room just nailed two good ones. Lindsay Sterling and Pentatonics. Pentatonics is one of my favorites. They would be a great performance, but
yeah,
um,
especially if they could do some kind of like Blizzard medley
yeah.
in the middle of that or something.
Oh, dude. But if you want to go old school for me, I'd pick Aerosmith. I've seen Aerosmith in concert and it was fantastic.
Awesome.
So I go that way. Look at these great REO Speedwagon Rush. You guys are great. These are flying by on the chat room, so these are good. What do you
Yeah, they
guys
are.
think out there on the podcast audience? We'd like to hear what you think.
Yeah, who do you want to play at BlizzCon this year?
Yes.
Even if you're not going, you can still watch it on the virtual ticket.
That's right.
So you can watch the concert live from the comfort of your living room or iPad or wherever. You know?
That's awesome. Okay, from Memeth, you got a new job. Congrats. I did. You could go to the moon colony or the dome city in the deep, dark ocean. Pick. And which one? Why did you pick that?
Oh man. I would have some caveats, but I would pretty much definitely say Moon Colony,
Yes.
because like I was actually watching some YouTube videos about the moon earlier today, and about why we don't have a moon colony yet. And there's concerns because of the moon has no atmosphere, so solar radiation comes in, higher risk for cancer.
Yeah, yeah.
So we would need a shielded colony.
Yep.
1/6 gravity. You don't have as much bone loss as you do in microgravity, like you do when you're on the space station. So you'd have to work out. You could pick up a small cow at current like Earth strength. If you had a small cow on the moon, you could just pick him up because of the less amount of gravity.
Oh,
So that'd be
wow.
really cool. And just seeing being on the moon, just like I am on the moon. I would, being in the ocean. You're in two different spots, because either if the structure fails in space, you die. If the structure fails in the ocean, you die.
Yeah.
So they kind of cancel each other out. And if you're in the deep dark ocean, yeah, you may see some fish, but you would not be on an alien world. And that's kind of what it'd be for me.
I must have some deep-seated, like, I don't know, but the ocean scares the crap out of me. I love going to the beach. I love being near the water. I love the smell of the ocean. I love that. But I have a true fear of open water like that, where you cannot see land. And the thought and I don't know what it is, but when you think about all the water and ocean that's out there and how deep it goes and how incredibly huge it is, it blows my mind. It is overwhelming. My brain goes and it's just, so it's a fear. It's like so there is no possible way that I would be able to live in an underwater colony. I would go insane. I would literally go insane.
Yeah, I share a very similar fear. I don't like when I go to the ocean, go to the beach. I try and stay. The farthest I'll go in is like knee deep.
Yeah.
I barely touch it because I think about how deep it is, and if swimming pools are fine. I like seeing as long as I can see the bottom, or I can see through the water, I'm fine. But there's that mystery that I just can't deal with. If it's just nothing, just like darkness, or there's just you're in the middle of the ocean, but there's also like 3 miles of nothing below you but water, and you don't know what other kind of animals.
That's
and
the thing is that it's the unknown, the thing you can't see. If you were out on the moon, you could at least see.
Yes.
You would be able to see. There's going to be light. It's you'd be able to see around you. So I think that's what it is the ability to be able to see around you.
And plus the view would be so much more spectacular. You get to see the Earth.
I know.
Earth from the moon colony. You get to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if you're on the near side, you're all pretty much always looking at the Earth because the moon's tidally locked. I
That's true.
mean, there you go.
There you go. It's
Oh yeah,
perfect.
yeah, driving jellyfish. I almost stepped on a jellyfish the last time I went. I was down in Galveston, Texas,
Mhm.
and they're like, I was there. I was like, yeah, we can go out in the water, be fine. And all of a sudden, almost step on a jellyfish. I'm like, no, no,
Oh,
no, 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 no,
yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no, no.
Yeah, there's too many dangerous things in the ocean too. I think that's part of it too. There's just you grow up as a kid and it's like, don't touch that, don't step on this, don't get in a riptide, don't do this. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. It's very much there is like it is a lot stronger than you and it knows it. So
Plus,
you are insignificant compared to the ocean.
yep. Plus, fish poop in that water.
And there's our show title.
And scene. Fish poop in that water.
Fish poop in that water.
Well, I'm glad we agree on that. So we'll both be on the moon colony.
Yeah, I'll have a buddy there.
Yeah,
All right.
we can live stream from the moon.
That's awesome.
It'd be so good.
Live stream of the moon. What's
So
the next one?
yeah, next one is from Summer Shade. Why are there no mailboxes outside of raid instances? I know that's crazy talk right there.
I got this when we got this tweet. I was like, why haven't I ever thought of this before? Duh. Yeah. Why is that? Why don't they put mailboxes? Is it like you could put a mailbox in every freaking remote location there is, but raids don't have one?
Yeah, I'm not
Why?
sure. Well, why do you think they do that? Can you come up with a funny reason?
Because they're jerks? I don't know. And you didn't say anything to it, so apparently you agree.
Well, no, and it is funny. I was typing to the chat room at that moment.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I think the raid bosses are just jerks. They've got they've got back pay they need to give to their minions that are like the trash pulls. They haven't, I mean, how long has it been since Arthas has paid the electric bill in Ice Crown? I mean, he's got torches in there and it's so cold, he hasn't, he hasn't been paying on his bills, so they had to shut it off. And now he doesn't want to get the bills anymore. So he just uprooted all of the mailboxes. So now he can feign ignorance. He's like, oh, I didn't know I had some mail. There's no mailboxes around here. I mean, you're going to have to like call me or something to know, because I don't get mail. I don't have an address.
Yeah,
Ice Crown
understand
Citadel
this.
does not have an address. We're not on a street.
I mean, I would think the people that are in charge of Azeroth, whoever that is, would be looking at the main population and where most of their people are spending their time. And if you go around and look, they're in the raid instances. They're the people that are hanging around and, going outside, summoning people. It's like, wouldn't you want to put like a food cart out there and all those things to be able to be like,
Yeah.
hey, you look like a hungry raider. Let me give you your mail and let me give you some food.
Yeah.
Like, you
We
want
need
to
food.
buy
We need food trucks outside the next raid.
food trucks.
Hellfire hot dogs.
Oh my gosh, that's a potential show title too.
Yeah, I
You
know,
guys writing
Hellfire
these down in the chat room? Because I swear this is going to be this is a true question that needs answering. Major Death in the chat room said that the male guys are too afraid to go out there.
That's
Too
true.
afraid.
I could understand that. They don't want to, like if for instance, gosh, I'm trying to think. If the Shah of Anger got a summons to court, who would you want? Would you want to be the guy to go? Excuse me, Shah of Anger. Yes. You've been summoned to court. And just kills him. Like no one would
Squish.
want that job.
I know.
Or the Shaw of Fear, I guess. The Shaw of Fear is the one I was thinking of, but both works.
That's
Both of it works. Yeah.
That is funny. No, I love it. That's
Yeah.
perfect. But Summer Shade, you are onto something here, totally. Because I was like, why didn't I ever think of that? That's really true.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, from Zach Vossler. Now that tickets are officially on sale, what are you most excited for about BlizzCon 2015?
Giving Jules a hug.
Oh, that was the sweetest thing. thing ever, and it's so true because I want to give you a hug too.
Yeah. Well, we'll get hugs at Nerdtacular too, but still, that'll be a few months between those two.
We literally, like, whenever we were together, we were literally like arm in arm all the time, just like hugs everywhere, because it was awesome. And BlizzCon last year, Marconin had just officially joined the team like a week or half prior.
It was right before.
So I think this one is going to be a lot more special because we've had so much history under our belt now that we've been through a lot together, and so it'll be an awesome thing. The other, I think that what I find myself getting so giddy about is just being able just to see everybody, and to see my friends and the people that I talk to on Twitter and in the game and in Facebook and in the chat room, and it's just those are the things that are so exciting to me. And I laugh because I'm like, why in the hell do I spend $199 on this ticket to go to BlizzCon every year when the most important and exciting thing to me is all the people that are actually gathering in this one spot? Well, because BlizzCon itself is very exciting.
I mean, sorry, go ahead.
No. It's just that feeling of just like, oh my gosh, I think that the thing I look forward to the most is the opening ceremony with all of my friends surrounding me.
Yes.
Learning something new about the things that we love and how we scream and grab each other and yell and just, it is the most giddy feeling in the world. I love it.
Yeah, I remember how your face was just alight with excitement when they showed, I think it was Pariah, that one of the healers for Overwatch. You were like, that's gonna be my girl. That's gonna be me.
Just went nuts.
Yeah, and when that's the best thing. Like the opening ceremonies are all just about worth the price of admission, especially if you're there. Because I've done the virtual ticket. I did it for 1 year. I did it for like 2011, I think it was, 2011.
Yeah.
And it was great. That was when they unveiled Pandaria. And I was just like, holy crap. But, if I had been there in the room, and now that I have been there in the room with thousands of other people, it's just the excitement, you could cut it with a knife in the air. It is so tangible. And you're just like plugged into this conduit of excited nerdness.
We buzz. Like you literally buzz with excitement. You're kind of like, I would just sit there and bounce in my seat because I was like this little kid. MacGyver was cracking up at me because I would be like, oh my God, he's just 15 minutes away. It was like a little kid. I don't know. And if you guys, obviously you guys are fans of nerddom in general, but if you can think of the moment that you saw this week, you saw the new Star Wars trailer. If you're a Star Wars fan and you saw the new Star Wars trailer, and those moments of watching that and feeling like a kid and feeling so excited and seeing that final scene in the trailer with Han and Chewie stepping off the Millennium Falcon and how you went, oh, that is what BlizzCon feels like. And it's if you can think about going, it's the most amazing thing for us as nerds. And I totally, absolutely understand that this financially, it is not for everybody. It cannot be afforded by everyone. And I'm really sorry. We talk about it a lot. It's something we're really excited about. But it's a fantastic experience if you're ever thinking about going, and both of us will be there. So and if it's always an option. A lot of people go just to hang out outside. They don't actually go inside, but they go and they get a room, because you can still get a room at the hotel even if you don't have a BlizzCon ticket. You just go, get the ticket, follow the link on the BlizzCon page. But there's people that go just to hang out. If they don't get to go inside, they don't get to go inside. But during the day when everybody's in there, they'll go to Disneyland, or they'll just kind of go see the city or something, or and especially now with the virtual ticket. And with the news this year that you might be able to buy the goodie bag that everybody that goes there gets, it's so accessible to join in. And at least, if you can't be there, you can at least watch, or you can, kind of be a part of it, vicariously through others and stuff. And, it's so cool to carry that spirit, with you the rest of the year and talk to people about it. This is exactly why Marconin and I are going to do everything in our power to create a Triple T Warcraft movie meetup for the Warcraft movie next year. So just a absolute must in our minds that we will have to do this, because it is that important to what we
Yes.
do, to what, that culture, our culture, so definitely going to happen. Definitely going to happen.
Yeah, this is the only time that they will come out with the first Warcraft movie. There's not going to be another first Warcraft movie. It's brand new.
We've been waiting for this for so long, and it's
Very long.
we've been waiting for this for so long, and we're gonna keep waiting. But still, I'm so darn excited by it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead and read the last one.
Last one's from Goss Kitty. Is color or taste more important in candy?
This one is really hard. I think, obviously, if you watch any Food Network station or any Food Network show at all, they will always say to you, you eat with your eyes first, But when it comes to candy, I think that for me, it's going to be about taste, unless the color is just completely turn off color, like poop brown or something like that. I don't know, but chocolate is poop brown. So
I was gonna say oh boy, I sure hope that's chocolate. It is chocolate.
It is. The chat room is overwhelmingly saying taste, but
yeah, but Kane says if you're eating it, taste. If you're looking at it, color. Yeah.
Well, okay, so here's a good example. So, have you ever had candy cigarettes?
It's been a very long time.
Yeah.
I mean, like a short, very, very long time.
Yeah, like when you were little
kids. Yeah, the little lemon ones.
That was really tough for me to even want to try them, because it was just like the look and the color. It was like, it looked like a piece of chalk. And I think we did have candy cigarettes for the show a while back. And I was just
I remember that.
Oh, they were so nasty. It was just like, I don't know. So visually, it definitely plays a factor for me. But for a lot of people, it's texture that's a big thing. If you're a texture, like there's a turn off, like you don't like things that are mushy or gritty or that kind of stuff.
Slimy. Like I don't like gummy worms, gummy bears, like that whole gelatin kind of consistency. I just don't like it. I don't really like Twizzlers that much or anything like that. I mean, nothing wrong with them, but right. I just don't prefer it. I'd rather have a piece of chocolate. Like
a Mike and Ike that has like a hard shell on the top of it is okay for me. I can do something like that, even though it's kind of a gummy texture. But like the little dots, those things, I don't go out of my way for that stuff. So what is your favorite candy? Like if you had to pick one candy right now, what would it be?
Ooh, Butterfinger.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Butterfinger.
Wow.
That's my favorite. Followed up by like either Three Musketeers or Peanut M&Ms, one of those three.
Wow.
But mostly Butterfinger, yeah.
Butterfinger. I love Butterfinger.
The crispy, crunchiest, peanut butteriest Butterfinger.
I think if you gave me choices of anything, it would be Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Ooh, yeah.
Those are mine. Because it's chocolate and peanut. Yeah, see? The chat room already got it. Let me guess, Jules. Yeah, chocolate and peanut butter. What else? There's, the Cold Stone Creamery. Their chocolate, their peanut butter cup perfection is like that's the bomb. Ice cream with chocolate, peanut butter, and peanut butter cups in it. Yes.
Yeah, I love peanut butter anyway, so any way I can get it, I do love Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. I used to get the little mini fun size ones, and even the big ones, you put them in the freezer for about 20 minutes, and they harden up, the chocolate does, and it still tastes really good.
That is
awesome.
Just,
it's cool because it's ice cold chocolate.
Here's a fun little interesting fact that you will never use ever again. So my main office is in Canada. It's in Montreal. And when they ship us stuff, they usually put candy in the box. They do that for everybody. And they sent like a single one of the Reese's peanut butter cups. You know what they are. Like it's the regular sized ones, but in a single one, like they do in Halloween, right?
Like Halloween, yeah.
Yep. Their Reese's peanut butter cup size is smaller than the American version by a marked difference. It's like a third smaller. And you look at it and you're like, yeah, this is really small. And then I had to go into the vending machine and get one of the real ones.
Of course it was for science. Of course it was for science. Right, you had to do a taste test too. You had to make sure that the Canadian one tasted just like the American ones. You got to taste test them too.
They do taste the same. At least for me, they do taste the same, but the sizing was very different. So yeah, I thought that was kind of it's a little weird fun fact for you. So
Yeah.
Canadian people have smaller Reese's peanut butter cups. Who knew? So
They lose it. They have to give the third of it to the customs officer when they bring it up. Canada.
Yes.
So they get a third. It's the tax. It's the peanut butter cup tax.
Tired of dealing with customs. You have no idea. So
Oh man.
I deal with it way too much. All right. So that is Tell Us One Thing. If you want to be a part of Tell Us One Thing and contribute your questions for us to ruminate over and give you all of the fun answers that we can come up with and think of, you can do that on Thursdays on our Twitter page. Twitter at Tauren Think Tank on Twitter. Blah. I didn't do so bad tonight. I didn't stumble over my words like I did at the beginning. So that's pretty good. Or you can go to our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/TaurenThinkTank, or you can email them in, questions@TaurenThinkTank.com. Okay. So, and now we're going to go into the feedback that you guys sent us this week.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now bring you... Wow, that's a lot of feedback.
It's always a lot of feedback from you guys, and we so appreciate it. Thank you for sending it in. We did get an update from last week.
All right.
Oh, yeah. We got an update from last week's Think Tank. The GDS, who had talked about harboring feelings for his ex-girlfriend. And he wrote us and gave us a really good update. He said, I would like to clarify that my wife does know about this and has known since before we were married. To answer a few of your questions, my wife did not want me to be around my ex either, so we chose together to not go to my mother's wedding. My wife has supported me on this the entire time and understands where I'm coming from. I talked to my wife about everything except WoW, because she kind of glosses over it and tunes it out. So there is no subject that we are in the dark about.
Boy.
Although I am hesitant about it, I am going to try to talk to my ex and get the air cleared. I thank you guys for the help and the different point of view on the issue. It has helped me to put a different spin on the feelings that I've had. Thanks for the help, from GDS.
That's good. That's good. Thank you for the update.
I loved hearing exactly what I wanted to hear, which is that the communication between he and his wife is so good, because that's really important. And I'm so happy for that she knows and she's aware of it, and she's going to be there for you as you go through this process of talking to your ex. That is going to be crucial, because when your feelings get kicked up and kicked around, then you can kind of laugh about it and say, man, I don't know why I had all these weird feelings about this anyway. So
yeah,
I sure hope that's the case. So all right, so go ahead and read the first feedback if you would, sir.
All right, the first feedback is from Sergeant Zim. I helped someone with jumping their car today. Thought of you all in your Pay It Forward campaign. Still working.
Oh,
So that's good. That's good, Zim.
I loved this. This came in today right before we started the show, and I was just like, that is awesome. Thank you so much, Sergeant Zim, and thank you for paying it forward to somebody. I mean, truly, it makes a huge difference in people's lives.
Yeah.
Just to give a moment of time, or you can give a resource or help when they need it the most. Very cool.
I had a well, it's not really Pay It Forward, but something I just remembered from the other day. Yeah. I was getting some food, from McDonald's, and it was through the drive-through, and the guy that took my card and I was paying at his window first. We had a small, a short little conversation. Like, how's it going today? And he's like, oh man, it's going. It's been a busy day. We just had more than just the standard. It'll be this much. Here's my card. Here's your receipt. Thank you. Goodbye. And at the end of it, I decided to say, I appreciate you. Just that quick. And he kind of stopped for a second. He's like, thanks, man. And it registered with him. And and sometimes it was just something that came to me just to say that, to take that extra little bit of time, because you stand out in a crowd of give me my food, give me my food, give me my food, give me my food. You're beneath me, and because I know especially in the service industry, you get that a lot from customers, and to take that extra second is like, I don't know. It just kind of came over to me to say that, and he liked it, and I was like, so if you guys think to do that, just take an extra quick second, especially with people in the service industry or the sales, or not really sales, but service industry, retail, because a lot of us have worked in retail before, so we know what it's like.
Yes.
To just be, don't be a jerk, be nice. We're all human beings, so just it might make their day. So you never know.
That's right. It's so true. There's a lady who works at my grocery store, who is at the checkout, and she's so nice, so nice. Always, always with a smile on her face, always kind. Asks how you're doing, and it's gotten to the point where since I go every Sunday morning, she recognizes me when I'm there. She doesn't know my name. She doesn't know any, but she's like, "Oh, hey, how are you?" And I'm good. How are you? Like, I try to make sure I go to her line. And, I give her a smile and tell her, she talk about the weather for a second. It's just really cool. And, so I always smile and I say, hey, thank you so much. You have a great day. And she smiles back at me. And it's just a nice moment. And, it's just those little things that you can do. I try to make eye contact with people who are in the service industry too.
Yes.
Make eye contact with them,
Stay off your phone.
Yeah.
I was at Target 2 weeks ago. On my lunch break, and the lady that was ahead of me in line was on her phone just talking the whole time that this guy was getting her food together, and she was swiping the card and didn't pay him any mind until, thanks, bye. I was like, can you not stop to, if I'm on the phone and I get to the line, I either tell them, hey, I got to go, or like, hold on a second, I put my phone. Yeah. And you give them at least a moment of your time because they're giving you a moment of their time by working and helping you with something. And that really bugged me.
Yeah.
that lady had no regard, It
sucks. Like, go to Chipotle. Chipotle is one of those things where you're behind the sneeze glass, this post person who's getting the stuff. I always try to look at the eyes of the person who is serving me and just thank them, yep, thank you, have a great day, and you see in their eyes, they kind of, they take a moment and kind of go, oh, like, it's just this weird, like, that it must happen because people are always focused on the food and not the person who's serving them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty awesome when I do that and I make people smile. So give it a try. From Rosie Bear 77 on Twitter, she said, I am so glad I found you guys. You are wonderful /moo.
Oh, thank you, Rosie.
This was so nice. Like, thank you. We if you are new listening to the show, I know that there's been some ads out recently and people have been hearing on different podcasts. And if you're checking us out for the first time, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for checking us out.
Yeah, and we're hoping that you'll stay and stick around and write to us and let us know what you're thinking. So that's awesome. I'm going to read this last one because this one made my day. This week.
Yeah,
I needed this. I got an email that said, OMG, Jules, when I was first listening to this week's podcast, just before you mentioned the life coach thing, in my head, I was like, she should be a life coach. I would totally hire her for Skype sessions. Lol. This is your calling. The road that you've been on has led you to this. You are doing it for the right reasons. Also, wouldn't it be amazing if you could somehow manage to do a weekly podcast or something with Scott Johnson's sister, Wendy? Holy shite. That would be rad. I almost swore on that. I thought about mentioning that to you sooner, but just never really did. Anyway, so happy and excited for you. Your view on life is amazing, and I hope one day I can meet you in person. You are like a safe place. You and Marconin are both just genuinely nice, non-judgmental people. Love the show. Don't really play WoW much these days anymore, but always listen. All the best, from Caspin.
Thank you, Caspin.
This is exactly what we were talking about earlier on the show, telling someone that, she was thinking about this and never said anything to me, but I needed to hear this after I talked about it. It made such a difference for me because I felt really exposed after the episode. I was really raw, like, I don't know if I should do this. I don't know. I'm putting it out there to the universe and everybody knows.
Uh-huh.
But it just helped me so much. So if you can do something like this for somebody else, please take a moment and do it. It does make a difference, a huge one. So love it. Thank you. Thank you, Caspin. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, Marconin, it's time to give out some love to the universe, and it's in the form of /moo.
Let's do it.
/moo it is. Start them off.
Yep. First is /moo to at Alyssa... Alsoria, wow, excuse me. /moo to goodness, let me take 3. Click. /moo to at Alsoria, wow, for trying to put a team together and all he's done for the guild Ascending Phoenix as raid leader.
From Susie T on Facebook, /moo to my CTR raid team dropping G's because they are just that awesome. Diva.
From the Mage's Table, /moo to Jules. Oh, You're not supposed to do that. Slash me to Jules and Marconin for always being there. Thank you both for everything. Less than 3.
You
Like a
guys
heart.
are breaking the rules. Do not give us slash moves. I put them in here because you send them, but we tell you not to.
These are
not for us.
Yeah, these are for other people.
It's for everybody else.
Other people.
I know. Flash move to at CTR Troublemakers for persevering and coming back for with the best night of raiding we have ever had this last week, and this is from Skinsaw.
Awesome. From Mammoth, slash move to my sister and her fiance for moving into their new home today. That's awesome.
That is awesome. Slash move from Justice to my raid team Cat on Fire for being patient with me while I learned the tank dance in Blackrock Foundry.
And you're going to have to give me a moment because Firefox crashed on me.
Oh, that's okay. I can keep going.
Yeah, keep going. I'll
we
be
got
right
one
there.
from the chat room from Draven Dresden. Slash move to Lactarded and the Horde Guild Silent Chaos for helping me get a BlizzCon ticket.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You want me to keep going?
Okay. Let me find it. What was the last one we did?
Justice was the last one.
Yeah. Okay. This one is from D. Ekholm or Deckholm. Slash moo to my wife at CK Ekholm and all the others that downed the Eventbrite boss to get BlizzCon tickets. Hashtag Cali or bust. Yeah, Major Death. Yeah, that's him and Evilani.
Yes.
I can't wait to see you guys again.
I'm gonna see them in 2 weeks. They're gonna be.
You are. I'm jealous.
So excited. And from Mullet863, slash moo to everyone that participated in Cards Against Humanity last night, and to Jules and Marconin for hosting. We got another one from 2020 site in the chat room. Slash moo to everyone who played Cards Against Humanity with me last night. It was epic. We try to do these once a month if you guys want to be part of that stream. And it's a patron event, so anybody who is a patron gets priority seating, but we will fill that in with anybody from the chat room who wants to play with us and our friends. So we'll let you know on Twitter and on Facebook. Follow us, and we'll tell you when we're going to do them. It's pretty cool. We try to fit it into our schedule at least once a month. Marconin's going to nights again, so we're trying to figure it out when we can do it again. I know. All right. Oh, one more last minute slash move before we move on.
Yep. Last minute slash move to my open raid group, EOTT. We got our second Imperator kill and got Gruul down in 2 pulls on our first trip into Blackrock Foundry.
Fantastic. That's from Irene.
From Irene, yep.
Yes, that's awesome. You can find our show on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, on our website at torrentthinktank.com, and all different other places where you can download podcasts. If you do give a review, if you'd like to give reviews, we certainly love getting them on iTunes and Stitcher, and you can do so. Let other people know that you love the show. It helps us. It does good things for us. We like it. So thank you. Marconin, what's going on for you this week? What's happening? What do you want to plug? Anything?
Not really anything to plug. I start the overnights tomorrow night, doing that, and then we start traveling again. I'm super excited for Age of Ultron, which is now 2 weeks away.
Yes.
I can't wait. I saw some more little featurettes on YouTube, and just oh man, so much hype for that movie. I cannot wait.
Epic.
Cannot wait.
So
but other than that, no, give a shout out to Savage Cherry Tomatoes. I'm going to try and raid with them again on Thursday night this week. And and a slash moo to Mrs. Conan because she's giving her master's thesis presentation on Tuesday night, and I'll be going down to Louisiana to see it and for the unveiling of her last gallery opening before she graduates in May.
That is amazing. She's
it'll be a
graduating
good
from
time.
graduate school in May, and it's been a long haul for her. So congratulations to Mrs. Conan. That is fantastic. Yay!
What about you?
Yeah, for me, you guys can check out another podcast that I do, which is I Remembered It Better. And it's a lot of fun. If you're geek nostalgic, you love stuff that you want to talk about from your childhood, that's what we do. It's with me, Revan Geek, and Ryan Allgood, and you can check it out at I Remembered It Better. That is the show on iTunes and Stitcher and all those great places. And that's about it for me. I'm gonna be working on stuff like Minnesota Meetup and BlizzCon Party and all those other lovely things that are coming up down the road really quick. So,
yeah.
But we're going to put together a show for you next week. We will not have one probably the following week because I will be in Minnesota unless we can squeeze one on Sunday, but I think you're working on Sunday, so I don't think we can get one in on the week, so we'd have to take the week off. But
Yeah, and that'd be the 2nd of May, right?
it would be. So the 2nd of May, there will not be a show because I will be at Pat Crane's house hanging out, probably having some beer. So
I'll probably be living in the movie theater watching Age of Ultron a couple of times.
I know, you lucky dog. So with that said, I think it is time for us to bring this show to a close right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's the music. Tauren Think Tank is a proud member of the Signals Media All-Star Network. Find out more about the other great shows in the network by going to signalsmedia.com.
Our voiceovers are done by the 2 Uber mages, Arcane and myself, Marconin. You can find us outside of the show on our website, taurenThinkTank.com, which has all of our podcasts and information on how to get in touch with us, too. Also, don't forget to get your Triple T t-shirts. You can get those at slashloot.com. They come in 3 different designs and a lot of different colors to choose from, guys.
They do, and they're awesome. We want to thank all of our patrons. Our show will always be free, and your support helps us to do even more. If you would like to become a patron of the show, you can do that at patreon.com/TaurenThinkTank.
Yes, you can. You can also like us on Facebook at facebook.com/TaurenThinkTank. If you're, looking for something else to do on Facebook, you're staring at your wall and you're like, I'm kind of bored. There's a lot of people posting just weird, dumb things and weird cat videos, which I'm watching. What else can I do productive on Facebook? Go to facebook.com/TaurenThinkTank and you can find something else to do. You can also find us on Twitter for the show at Tauren Think Tank. You can find Jules at JulesRPG and myself at Marconin Wow. You can also chat with us on the forums. So if you want to give those boards some love, you can find that at forums.signalsmedia.com.
Yes, you can. And we want to thank everyone. Thank you, chat room, for being with us and hanging out every Saturday night at 9 o'clock Central Daylight Time. And you can also find a video stream. It's twitch.tv/TaurenThinkTank. You can find our mobile audio stream, which is tunein.alphageekradio.com. So if you're on the road and you're not able to tune in live, you can listen to us on Alpha Geek. They're wonderful.
Yes, they are.
Oh my gosh, we love seeing you guys here with us every week, and it is time for us to go. So Marconin, have a fantastic week. Good luck on.
You have a wonderful week too, Jules. Thank you.
Thank you. For myself, for Marconin, for Arcane, for our entire chat room. Until next time, /moo, everybody.
/moo.
And we're not going to do this right. No, we're not.
Tauren Think Tank. We make your problems less bad.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really?
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 I have a brain fart, and it happens every single time.
Well, Just Plain Creepy said while we were doing the outro, he's like, get the button ready, Jules.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because the volume is down when the other one is running. So I have to turn. Otherwise, I'm going to rip the volume up and you're going to hear the little outro music go blah. And, or I have to just cut it short. Oh my God. I am so lame. I need a better mixer, but I don't have it. So. Oh, Rambling Noob, thank you for that compliment. We're here to spread positivity. That's what we do. That is our joy, and that's our passion is to make people feel good.
Yeah, there's one thing you can give everybody on the planet. And it's absolutely free. It's a compliment.
Yeah, doesn't cost
it's the cheapest gift you can give somebody.
That's right. Ooh, Lori, gel nails. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Love it. You totally relate. I know you do.
hey, my toenails could be painted. You don't know.
You know what? I would pay to see that. Look at Marconin painting his nails right here. Right here on webcam. That's that's a Patreon award waiting to happen.
No.
Oh my God, it is so flippin' hot in this room right now. I can't even tell you how warm it is in here right now. Oh, I know.
Spreading positivity on thick.
I know. Actually, I'm gonna to hit up our patrons. I'd like to get some reward ideas from them, because I I think the second show at the second tier might be something we could work with, but they're demanding it as patrons. Paint your nails. What do you think? Okay, so at $1,000 a month, Marconin will come on and paint his toes.
Y'all are
Dude, that's
making
like
it really hard.
That is a lot of
Here.
money. That is a lot of money. What would it cost for you to do that? You can have a
talking.
video.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. Is it
We're
like
getting there.
Is it like $5,000 a month?
Oh, Ken, you pay to not see that. If you want to pay to not see it, Kane, sure, you've got you can send me a check, and I won't.
You
And I
wanna
won't
pay
do
him
it.
for not doing it?
Hey, that's what he wants. Your husband wants to pay me not to do it.
What kind of stunts can we get Jules and Marconin to do for money is what it's becoming. Oh, that's great. That's great. Oh, we love you guys. Thank you for making us laugh. We love it. It's the best. This is how would I pay you in whiskey? There you go. No, he's not a whiskey guy.
Well, I mean,
How about
maybe.
moonshine?
No. There you go. I was thinking about if you I was thinking about bringing a thing of that Arkansas Lightning moonshine that I was telling you about.
Yeah.
Bring it in my luggage if you wanted it for Nerdtacular or something. Well, no, we're not supposed to bring alcohol to.
Well,
that's one thing.
You can have it in the hotel.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Is because I know in that meeting he said something about maybe it's like walking around with it or something.
Right. It's like you can have it in the hotel and drink it in your room, that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
But it's, and people do it all over the place. It's not a big deal. They just don't want you to be walking around with it,
We don't need a Kinsman stunt.
You
another
can't. You
Kinsman.
just have to keep it in your room. So it's not a huge deal if you have it there. A lot of people had alcohol in their room, so yeah, because they want you to go to the bar and give them.
Thank you for
money.
your patronage, kind of thing.
That kind of thing. But there's a bar at Nerdtacular that we went to. It's down the hill from the main building, and we got. It was like for $7 we got a full 16-ounce beer and a shot of certain so we were drinking Fireball shots.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, so it was a shot and a beer for $7. That was great.
That's not a bad deal.
That was great. So we were, sitting outside in beautiful weather. It was 80 degrees outside. Oh, I've got the hiccups. And
I was going to ask you what the weather was like. What the weather? Well, no, it's going to be different not much different because the timing during the year is different.
Was it less than that, Kane? I thought it was $7. Maybe it was $6. But Draven, are you coming? Are you coming to BlizzCon? Oh my gosh, that's awesome. We're going to have to figure out some kind of Triple T gathering of some sort for all the folks that are going to be there. Obviously, the Signals Media Party will
Signals
be a
Media
great
Party,
part.
definitely.
But
I just hope they don't put a voice acting panel right before it, so I have to run out of there.
I know. And the problem with it is that I'm usually quite busy with the party, and so it's hard for me to get because I'm being pulled in so many directions. So what I would love is to have something where we had Triple T fans that came to a certain time or place or or met someplace outside or something at a certain time.
Well, the weather in Anaheim that time of year is gorgeous, especially in the evening. You can just sit on one of the benches out there and just relax, and it's just beautiful. It's a little cool, so where if you've got a really high sensitivity to cold, you may need a jacket. Yeah. But for me, I was just out there in shorts and a t-shirt, just, oh man, this is wonderful.
It was great. It was fantastic. It was beautiful there. So yeah, I'm down with it totally. We could put together something in there. So, I want to say, is that you, Rambling Noob? We just got an edited pledge up to $10. Got an increase. Is that you? I said it says Christopher. I think it is. Thank you so much. That's awesome. That was for me to do the PvP stream. I'm betting you did that. I'm betting you did that. Oh, thank you so much. That's awesome. Thank you. I tried to check my email before we stopped the stream so we can thank anybody who did pledge during that, and I appreciate that. You guys rock. Thank you.
Oh,
There's a couple things that I would like to purchase for the show. One of them is a subscription to XSplit so that we can do local recordings and that kind of thing, and possibly record in high def. So,
ooh, that would be good.
and stream in high def. So I would like to do that, and that will help us because there's a monthly fee that comes with that. So, and you know what? I want to ask this question since we're here and we have a couple minutes, and since you guys are all hanging out. So we have a 3-year anniversary show coming up. And one of the things and that's going to be in May. It's mid-May for that. And Marconin and I talked about this a lot. Some of you guys have suggested in there to do like just a show, but more about just like a call-in show or something like that. And I'm thinking that instead of doing a call-in show and just, talking about stuff, that we possibly do like a gaming stream or a something of that nature as part of our normal show, because it for me it doesn't make a lot of sense for us to do like a 3-year retrospective because things have changed in the last year, and so we want to mark the time that is now and not maybe look at the past. So it's more about how do we do something special that you guys can be a part of. So, if you like call-in show, that's fine. And we can work on that and work on content for that. But we want to know what you guys think, what you're thinking. Would be fun because you guys are here every week when you hang out with us, and we do it at our normal time. So it would be that. So pile of games people have that are multiplayer. Okay. Well, we can think about that.
Mm-hmm.
The official 3-year mark is May 17th. That is the premiere of Tauren Think Tank 3 years ago. So group gaming night. Okay, we can do that.
Heroes of the Storm, group PvP,
War games.
naked raiding.
Naked raiding. Yes.
That's when your character is naked.
Old raid for
not
fun.
necessarily you.
Yep.
Well, I mean, you guys could be because if you're not on the camera, but I'm not going to be.
Recorded messages. That's a good idea, Lori. Yep.
Yeah,
Messages,
yeah.
I like that. Yep. And if we did that, I would go and get another phone number so that you could leave us voicemails, so we could do that. That's fine. Naked rating. Yeah. No, that's cool. The things that I really thought about it, and I'm just laying it online. I don't really feel like going back and digging up old stuff because the past is the past and things have really changed for this show. And I'm happy, so happy with things that they are now. But we're at that point where it's not been a year for Marconin and me. So
yeah.
It's just 3 years for the show. And the show is about you. So we want to do something that is special for you. So
yeah. And we don't have a whole lot of like audio produced ideas to do anything. So,
yeah.
I don't have anything to really record and edit and put together.
So I think that it is best to do. You guys sound like you want to do a gaming stream, so we could do something like that. And just hang out and have just a fun night in our normal time slot for the show, instead of doing an actual podcast. I think that would be fine.
Yeah, a nice, just kind of relaxed, hanging out with everybody.
Yeah. Why not wait till the 1 year with Marconin? That's a good point. Yeah, Marconin would be October, the end of October. That's a good point.
Well, we could do the 3 year as well. Like
I think it's.
I wouldn't mind
both
of them.
I think it's good to celebrate milestones, and that kind of thing. The challenge we have right now is that with Marconin's schedule, it's in working nights. Saturdays is really the time where I know I'm going to get him.
Yeah,
and I
that's,
know
that's about the only because in between stores I'll usually drive in on. Oh, there's a horn.
And a dog barking.
Yeah, let me check on that.
Yeah, go ahead. Go check it out. Yep, okay. You like that both. I like that too. That's a good suggestion, Lori. Yep. And it's just what we just wanted to do something for you guys. And, a special show. I don't really have any, everything you guys give us is important. So I don't want to designate something as this is a special discussion or a special thing. We could grab a special guest. We could go and do something like that. But I just wanted to know what you wanted in there. Kind of go from there. So Oh, it has been a long day. That being outside in the sun thing is a big. That's crazy. It's I haven't been out in the side in the sun for a long time. Good night, Maz. Sleep well. Sleep very well. That's an early morning for you. That's very early. And you're probably not working overnights anymore, so that's pretty early. Yuck. I can hear Arcane yawning downstairs. That was probably the big, like, back stretch, like, yawn, right, Kane? Because I totally heard it through the floor. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, third year of the show. I mean, I want to mark the occasion. It's important. You know, it's important that the show has gone on so long. But it's easy for a show to just say, let's do a retrospective of all the things that we've experienced in the last 3 years. And that was not the cat, honey. That's too funny. I like the idea for messages. Yeah. So that's fine. We'll take it.
Yeah, if you want to record anything and send it to us, send it to questions@torrenthinktank.com.
Yes. And good night, JPC. Have a good night.
Later.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I'm checking my email right now.
Yeah.
Let's see. The question is, would I be opposed to a fan-made retrospective of the past 3 years? Nah, I don't know how I feel about that. You know, obviously I don't talk a lot about what happened with why Rem left or anything like that. I don't really want to talk about it, and it's those memories are kind of hard right now. So yeah. I guess I would say no. Probably would say no. Just because I don't know if it would be. It's where I want the show to be, where the show is now and where we've worked really hard to put it is very, very different from where we were. And it's not that I don't appreciate someone doing something like this. I just think we have a very unique situation where we changed directions because of a pretty hard and harsh situation. So
yeah, it was a jarring change.
Yeah, and it wasn't planned and it wasn't anticipated and it was not and it still hurts. Let me just lay that out. It still hurts. So
yeah.
So I really just focus on the future. I focus on now and the future, and Marconin being here makes all the difference for me. Makes everything so much better for me. So because the show is so much more what I wanted it to be now. So yeah, I'm a much happier person with this show being where it is now and the direction that we've taken it and what we're doing. So so I appreciate that, Draven, very much, but I just don't think that's the email you wanted me to check, right? Because I'm thinking that's what you wanted me to check. So if not, I'm sorry. I saw that there was one from you. Actually, there's two from you. So
yeah, sorry, Keep Engine. We don't allow links to be shown in the chat room.
Yeah, it's just we've had spam in the past. We've had people bombing our chat, and so yeah, so but yeah. So I think we'll if you guys have thoughts and you want to think about it and send it in, go ahead and do that. We'd love to hear from you and what your thoughts are, and if you want to have so Mage, are you saying you want like a commentary, like a pre-recorded, like, you know, this is what the show is meant to me kind of thing? Is that kind of your thinking? And just talk about the stories that are important to us and the things that have affected us. Yeah, okay, I like that. That'd be good. That would be easy enough to do.
Yeah, we can hammer that out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, have you add some music behind it, make it sound very very NPR.
That's the one big piece of advice I got from actually trying to get into radio is, yeah, but his voice sounds too NPR. Can't have him on my radio station because he's NPR.
Because you're not going, hey, yo.
Yeah, it's 5:05 in the afternoon. We've got the I-5 is stacked up a half mile behind the tractor trailer that exploded there,
I know.
all this other stuff. And coming up next on 108.3, which is not a real frequency.
101.3.
Yeah, on 108.3, the wolf.
The wolf. Oh, you guys, that's awesome because of Triple T hashtag.
Oh man.
I'll just say this. If you guys want to do something like that and organize it, that would be awesome and amazing. I feel that it's a little self-serving if we did it. I'm just gonna be completely honest.
Yeah.
I don't want to do something that's self-serving to that level, because that's not what we're about. What we're about is helping you guys and talking with you and discussing these things with you. If that is something that you guys want to put together, feel free. It would mean the world, but I'm not gonna be the one to spearhead that because I don't think that's appropriate for us to do. Like we say, don't give us slash moves and you break the rules because you do it anyway. Yeah. And I do mean it. It's not like we're not trying to get your praise. We're not trying to get you guys to tell us how awesome we are.
I'm not a rock star.
No, it's not about that. It's just, and so that it just means so much more because you don't. And Lori said this earlier, and I laughed as it went by, and she said, "You really think we're going to listen to what you say, Jules?" Inside, I was in the middle of something, talking about something, and it made me laugh because I was like, "That is really funny." So yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, we would like to do something different for the anniversary, and I think if we did the. What does Triple T mean to us? The two of us did it. Yeah. And then if you guys wanted to do it as well, we can throw them all in there and just play them, put some music behind it. It's kind of like when they do the fundraising drives for radio stations that I listen to. They take all the listener things and then they play it. Just have some music in the background. Be nice, I think. I can throw that together.
Yeah. It's the hardest This is the thing, right? You're watching this right now. This is the thing that we both struggle with the most. That is we do this for you, and it is absolutely, it is here for you. And it means the world to us when you thank us. It does. It means so much. You don't understand. There have been tears. There have been moments of us just crying together, because it does mean that much. Mm-hmm. But we don't ever want to be in a position where we're sitting there saying, "Hey, tell us how awesome we are, please."
Yeah.
No, because that's not how we work. It's not who we are. It is not anything, and it's so uncomfortable. So it's very difficult for us to accept that praise, and we do love it. This is the hardest thing.
Yeah.
And I'm tearing up because this is like the hardest thing for me to do. And it's the hardest thing when I'm in front of you guys in a meetup, and I just want to talk about you. I just want to hear about you. But no, the words are failing me. But what I'm trying to say is that it means so much for you guys to say what you do to us. But it would break my heart to ever think that you thought we were fishing for it. So that's, I hope that makes sense. I hope that comes through the way I mean it to.
Yeah, I never want to fish for compliments with any aspect, the Triple T or just in my regular life because, oh, well, hey, did you know that I did this and that and this? And boy, I did that. Boy, wasn't that something?
There's too much of that out there. There's too much of it out there. It's all over the place. Don't do it. I hate it. Oh, I hate it. And so, yeah, this is it. I mean, this is on the line. We want to do what makes you guys happy, and it makes us happy to do it. So, and so far we've done pretty good because you guys like it. So.
Yeah.
But it was the same thing about, accepting the Patreon. I gotta say, the one thing that I watched that made me turn, into a believer and somebody who is okay is Amanda Palmer did a TED Talk out there, and I don't know if Marconin, I think I sent this to you, but maybe I didn't.
Maybe not.
it's Amanda Palmer is she is married to Neil Gaiman, and Amanda Palmer is a musician, artist, and I'm gonna try to find the name of her TED Talk.
Okay.
Her name of her TED Talk was The Art of Asking. And I think Bimini sent this to me. I think it was Bim who sent it to me. It is an amazing, amazing TED Talk because it is one of those things that, you know, as a creator, as an artist, as a producer, as a content creator, some people have a really tough time asking for help or to accept the fact that people want to give. And you know, so I watched this and it just blew me away. So that was where I think I sent this to Marconin. I don't know if you watched it. I'm hiccuping again. And but it made a tremendous difference in my perspective, and that's why we are now able to talk about the Patreon on the show. I was embarrassed. It was so hard for me to do it. It was so difficult for me to say it. And I was just like, you know what? We have to accept that there are people who do want to give back, and it's okay. It's all right. There's no shame in that. Mm-hmm. And so some of these things, you know, you guys have helped us, and Bim was the one that sent this to me and made me change my perspective. So, you know, if we can help each other, this is what we do. This is the thing. So, and it's awesome. Yes, and she is pregnant right now, and Lori just pointed that out. She is pregnant. And so there is going to be an Amanda Palmer, Neil Gaiman baby out there.
There we go.
That's a pretty amazing creative person. All right, we have babbled on. I have babbled on long enough. What was going on with the car?
Oh, Mrs. Conan came by and her purse accidentally hit the car horn. I went out there and she's like, "I am so sorry. Are you still recording on the show? I'm so sorry." She was trying to get out of the car and her purse swung around and hit the car horn.
I have done that 100 times.
I've accidentally honked at someone who's like, the car is like right in front of me and I just honk at them by accident. Like my hands are on the steering wheel and I'll go to like move something or just my hands and the car horn will just go off. I'm like, I want to have like a sign that says, "I didn't mean to honk. I'm sorry. I'm not mad at you. I'm not cussing or flipping you off."
Apparently, sorry. All right.
We'll have to hop off.
Okay, so we're going to head out of here. You guys have a fantastic weekend, fantastic night. We will be back next week with a show. And thank you again for all of you, what you guys do to support us in every single way you do. And have a fantastic week. Find your passion this week, guys. Go look for your passion if you haven't found it yet. Mm-hmm. Good luck to you guys.
Yeah, and have a wonderful week.
Until next time, /moo, everybody.
/moo.
/moo.